It's Wednesday, January 28th. Today, a break in the case. How many people are facing charges following a string of alleged arsons and extortion attempts? Also today, up in flames. What will happen to a northern community after fire consumes their only school? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, of course, Literacy Week is coming up, so Ainsley McPhail is live with the City of Winnipeg telling us about some of the events that are scheduled in the leisure guide. So we're going to find out a little bit more about some of the activities you can enjoy with your kids and things that you can do on your own. So we're going to delve into that throughout the morning. But the weather, it's about the same as it has been. It's a curl up with a good book kind of weather. Exactly. That's what I need.
It's not as bad as it was over the weekend. Obviously, we've noticed that change up through the start of this week, but it is still cold and below seasonal, minus 24, but it feels like minus 35 right now. And the winds, they're not even strong, but they still add that bite. They're out of the northwest at the moment, 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 77%. Once again, very similar to yesterday, mainly clear conditions are expected. Here on the satellite image, there's not much to see. A few extra clouds up through the northeastern part of the province that could bring a little bit of flurry activity. And in fact, you might notice that flurry activity moving down along that eastern border as the day goes on. But overall, a lot of us today will still be enjoying that sunshine. Enjoying being a somewhat selective phrase. Some people will still be like, I can't enjoy this yet. We are off the mark of what is normal for this time of year, with minus 11 now being that seasonal daytime high. Here's the heavier clouds that I was talking about in the northeast and that bit of flurry activity that might roll along that eastern border. We too might see some of those clouds moving through overnight and into tomorrow morning, but eventually back to clear skies again. We will enjoy that sunshine pretty much through the rest of this week. Once the weekend rolls around, things could change a little bit. Now, it looks like we might enjoy that sunshine into the start of the weekend Saturday, but by Saturday night, some flurry activity passing through, leaving some heavier clouds behind on Sunday. But it's also when we're finally getting a break from these temperatures, so remaining well below seasonal throughout the rest of this week. Minus 11, I mentioned, being normal. We're going to be back up above those seasonal temperatures, even continuing on through much of next week.
Thank you, Terry. Pay up or watch your business burn. That's the choice several business owners in the city's North End were given this summer in a string of extortion and arson attacks. And now police believe they know who is behind the crimes. Here's CTV's Danton Unger.
An employee at this convenience store on Selkirk Avenue says back in July, someone lit a fire near the back door. Now, police allege it was all part of an arson and extortion ring.
During this investigation, it was learned that a group of individuals, some from Winnipeg and others from Eastern Canada, were sent to threaten and extort local business owners using arson as a weapon.
On Tuesday, police identified 7 suspects, 5 of whom have been arrested and are facing various charges, including arson and extortion. 2 suspects remain on the loose. Farnham Nabil is wanted on 4 counts of conspiracy to commit an indictable offense, and Tremaine Weeks is wanted on 2 counts of extortion.
We're coming for you. Simple. We're not going to stop.
Police have linked fires at 2 Selkirk Avenue convenience stores and a warehouse on Spruce Street, as well as a theft at a Portage Avenue business. Investigators allege the owners of 3 other convenience stores on Selkirk Avenue and Main Street were extorted for money or threatened with extortion in exchange for protection from arson. Inspector Jennifer McKinnon says these crimes all happened in July, and in each case, there's a common link.
They're all South Asian owned. So we can't look past that.
However, she says it's unclear at this time if that's why they were targeted. Now, these crimes resemble other cases Winnipeg has seen. In November last year, 2 masked men walked into this Logan Avenue convenience store, forced the employee out at gunpoint, and then lit the store on fire. The owner says he had previously been threatened with arson. And in July, someone broke into Tita's Thai restaurant on Donald Street and tried lighting it on fire. Police are not linking these cases and no one has been charged, but the investigations are ongoing.
The business owners should know that it is a priority for the police service. We have not forgotten about them. We just need the time to do what we do.
And meanwhile, Winnipeg's Mayor Scott Gillingham says,
we won't be intimidated as a city. If people think that they can, engage in extortion attempts, our police will investigate, we will make arrests, and we'll hold people accountable.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Police say while these arrests mark important progress, the investigation is not over yet. Anyone with information about the two outstanding suspects, Farnham Nabil and Jermaine Weeks, is asked to contact police or make an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. The charges have not been tested in court. Winnipeg police are asking drivers to avoid Narin Avenue this morning because of a fire. Police say crews are still on scene at a fire in a commercial building in the 800 block of Narin. That street is closed to traffic. It's expected firefighters will be at the location well past the morning rush hour. We will have more information on this incident as it becomes available. Surrey, BC is asking for Ottawa's help to deal with rising cases of extortion.
This is a city saying, help us. We cannot handle this.
Council passed a motion this week calling on Ottawa to declare a national state of emergency. January is not over yet, and 36 extortion cases have been reported in Surrey this month. And it's not just Surrey. Over the weekend, shots were fired at a Calgary home. No one was hurt, and police say it was likely linked to extortion. The public safety minister is expected to meet with BC officials and the premier this week. This winter has been a tough one out on the roads, and whiteout conditions in eastern Ontario led to a dramatic scene on Canada's most traveled highway.
It is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
Shortly after 8 yesterday morning, reports started coming in. A tractor trailer caught fire, causing 6 crashes within a 2-kilometer stretch. This was near Trenton, Ontario. Blowing snow created whiteout conditions, and about 50 cars were involved in the pileup. Remarkably, just 4 people were taken to hospital, and everyone survived. There were some close calls, though. A woman was pulled from this car moments before it burst into flames. The burnt remains were then draped in spinach that had been tossed from a produce truck. In Atlantic Canada, storm cleanup continues under the threat of another nor'easter developing this weekend.
It's not too bad out here. The snow's so light and fluffy, so it's just super easy to move this time.
The only thing I don't like is clean it. That's it.
There's been a lot of shoveling and plowing over the past few days. Some areas of the Maritime saw up to 40 centimeters of snow falling between Sunday and Tuesday. The snow disrupted travel and schools. Classrooms in the Halifax area have been closed 3 out of the last 10 days, and now it's the bitter cold that's sticking around. Parents in Alberta are outraged and searching for answers after several children fell ill at a hotel swimming pool. 30 children, mostly from a minor hockey team, got sick while swimming in the pool at the Canmore Inn and Suites.
People just start running out of the pool, and kids are puking in the hallway, and people inside are yelling, "Get out, get out."
Paramedics arrived to assess the children. 11 of them ended up in hospital complaining of throat, back, and chest pain. The town discovered elevated levels of a chlorine-based substance during initial air testing. CTV News pulled public inspection records that show repeated violations for high chlorine levels in the hotel pool. The hotel claims it can't comment on the inspection reports during an ongoing investigation. We're getting an inside look at the demolition and redevelopment of Portage Place. True North purchased the mall back in 2024. The $650 million project got underway this past fall. The focus over the next few months is getting deconstruction work for the 12-story healthcare tower finished before the building phase starts this summer. True North says it will be followed by work on the 15-story housing tower.
There'll be affordable and deeply affordable units available in the space, and we hope to see construction start on it later this winter. I can't give you an exact date.
Portions of the shopping center remain open to the public, and there's some good news for the skateboard community. The skate park is moving to 323 Portage Avenue during construction. True North hopes to have the temporary location open by the end of March. Hundreds of Scots were carrying a torch for an ancient Viking festival. After snaking through Scottish town of Lerwick in the Shetland Islands, marchers threw their torches onto a replica Viking longship. The inferno burned away 4 months of work by galley builders. The roots of this festival date back over 12 centuries. Very neat. All right, here's a look at what's going on now along at Confusion Corner. Looks like things are pretty light at this point in the drive. If you see any issues out there, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Millennium Library this morning. It is Literacy Week, And of course, I Love to Read Month is next month, so it's all about books this morning. Good morning.
It's the reason I picked up Merry Christmas Peanut. the best way to encourage folks to read right now. But listen, so much going on in our city when it comes to library programming, previewing I Love to Read Month. But there's also other activities as well, including crafting, hoop dancing, and more. So we'll be chatting about that coming up at 6:44. Libraries aren't the only city programming, though. When it comes to winter stuff, there's things you can rent, city services you can utilize, courses. We'll be talking about that in the 7 o'clock hour, and maybe an animal. I know, I love to bring in animals onto our program, too. So doggy dates is another one.
I love that. Okay, we'll check in a little later. Have fun in the library. Let's go out to the rooftop. Today is a good day to curl up with a good book. It's still cold out there.
It definitely is still cold out here. Just as I stepped outside, I found myself that little catch, right, where you take that breath and it immediately makes you want to cough a little bit. So yes, it's cold. Not extremes, not like where we were over the weekend when we had cold warnings that were issued by Environment Canada. But below seasonal most definitely, and that trend will continue for another couple of days at least, very similar to what we experienced yesterday. Minus 26 is where we're sitting right now. It feels though like minus 37. Once again, the winds, they're not that strong, but they do have that additional little bite to them. An 18K wind out of the northwest with the pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 77% and fairly clear conditions. Again, there's a lot of things about today that'll play out quite identically to how yesterday played out, and very much so how tomorrow and still Friday will look. And by that I mean there will be sunshine. Sure, it'll look good, but the temperatures will remain below seasonal. High minus teens is likely as warm as it gets when minus 11 is now a normal daytime high. But we only have to wait until the weekend to really notice a change up, both with the conditions and with the temperatures. Temperatures will be on the rise, but we'll start to see some heavier clouds moving in, maybe even some flurries likely Saturday night now and into Sunday. But those warmer temperatures will continue on into the start of next week. We're taking a break and we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning. A Northern Manitoba First Nation is scrambling to find a new place to educate 380 students from the community. Fire destroyed the only school on Barons River First Nation on Tuesday morning. It's located about 325 kilometers north of Winnipeg. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, it isn't the first major building lost to fire recently.
I prayed so hard for the school not to burn down for the kids' sake.
April Swain says she jumped into her car after seeing on social media that Barons River School was on fire. She says she quickly got a hold of family to help find water tank operators just after 4 a.m. By the time they got to the scene, the fire had quickly spiraled out of control.
The fire was on the other side of the school, so we couldn't see it. And as soon as the wind picked up, it just went up in flames.
It was a place where she and her family went to learn over the years. She even worked there as an educational assistant years ago and still knows many of her former colleagues.
When you work there, you become family. You meet a lot of coworkers, and it's just devastating to see that school burning.
Now a central part of the community is lost. It's the second time in just over a year that Barons River has faced loss due to fire. This blaze took the First Nations community arena, which was right next to the school. On Tuesday, Barons River Chief and Council say they are working with Frontier School Division to help find 380 students a place to learn. They say, in quote, all options for temporary classroom space and alternative learning arrangements are being explored to ensure students can resume their education as soon as possible. Swain says it may be a long time before things get back to normal for teachers as well.
So I feel for them too. Like, all their hard work is gone, and I don't know when they'll see the students again.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Swain says the nearest school with road access is Bloodvein First Nation, about an hour south. She hopes Chief and Council will find something in their community for kids to finish the school year. As to the cause of the fire, RCMP say it does not appear to be suspicious. An investigation is ongoing. The doomsday clock has ticked closer than ever to midnight, the theoretical point of human annihilation.
Last year, we warned that the world was perilously close to catastrophe and that countries needed to change course towards international cooperation and action on the most critical existential risks. Unfortunately, the opposite has happened.
The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists has set the clock to 85 seconds before midnight. That's 4 seconds closer than last year. The Chicago-based nonprofit cites aggression by nuclear powers, international conflicts, and artificial intelligence as factors driving toward global disaster. An Ontario mother is speaking out after a dog attack left her injured and her 4-year-old girl badly mauled.
I have this one dog on my arm, and then I feel another animal come from behind me and jump on my back. And all I can think is, they're gonna rip us apart. Like, we're both gonna die.
The woman and her daughter were visiting a townhouse in Oshawa when 2 dogs came out of the townhouse next door. The dogs' owners came out and stopped the attack. The owners have been ordered to keep the dogs muzzled in public. StatsCan has released some long-term projections for our country's population. The agency reported Canada's steepest population decline last month due to immigration policy changes. But looking long-term, all scenarios point to population growth. Under a medium growth scenario, there could be 57 million people in Canada by 2075. A high growth scenario would see Canada's population rise to almost 76 million by 2075. Our country's population was estimated at around 42 million people last year. New life is on the way for pieces of our city's past. We're learning about plans to build new housing units in the heart of Winnipeg.
To create a 24/7 urban downtown, we must press forward in reviving vacant historic buildings, reimagining underused surface parking lots, and shaping a vibrant, walkable density that supports a population twice what it is today.
Centre Venture is spearheading plans to convert 4 vacant heritage buildings into housing. The properties listed are the St. Charles Hotel, Ma's Garage, 290 Gary Street, and Alloway Lofts. That's where Johnny G's restaurant was before it was gutted by fire last summer. In total, 297 new housing units are coming to the downtown.
The presence of people is critical to safety. It's critical to supporting economic growth and development. You need people, residents, to support local businesses. So it's really, really vital that we have more people living in the downtown. And right now, a credit to all the investors, we are seeing that momentum really take shape here in downtown.
106 of the units announced Tuesday will be affordable housing. Centre Venture is spending more than $4.5 million on these projects. It's part of their ambitious plan to build 750 new downtown units each year. Crowds are coming out to Egypt's 57th annual Cairo International Book Fair. Exhibitors say they're moved by the enthusiasm of children at the fair and that they reflect how a culture of reading was being passed down within families. More than 450,000 people came out to the fair on Saturday alone. It runs until February the 3rd. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Arson Avenue is completely closed from Henderson to Brazier for construction. Valor Road is completely closed between Riddle and Woolever for water work. And Morley Avenue is completely closed between Osborne and Hay for construction. If you have any other traffic tips, text them to us, please, at 10400.
A look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Once again, a fairly clear start to your day, but it is on the colder side. These below seasonal temperatures will continue at least through the rest of this week. The work week. The weekend is looking better. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's get back to this morning, shall we? It's minus 26 right now in Winnipeg, and we are seeing very similar temperatures all throughout the south in the low to mid or even high minus 20s, minus 27 right now in Brandon and in Dauphin. We've got minus 29 at the moment in Swan River. Moving further up into the north, you can again see the difference between the lack of clouds where it's clear, or that insulating cloud cover where the temperatures are a few degrees warmer. So enjoy that. You'll probably also see, along with those clouds, a few light and scattered flurries through parts of the northeast. Wind chills factored in and still feeling in those low to mid minus 30s. Minus 38 is what it's feeling like right now in Winnipeg, and I think we're winning the game as far as the wind chill values go. And the winds themselves, they aren't even that strong and likely won't be. Very similar to yesterday, just in that 15 to 20K range. It'll be a northwest wind today, but still, with these colder temperatures, it will provide just enough of a bite that you're like, oof, I'm feeling it. Anyway, it'll be on the clearer side once again. again, very similar to yesterday, kind of carbon copy day after day. Minus 25 as kids get into the classroom. Lunchtime temps minus 21, and our expected high of minus 19 is below the mark of what is seasonal. Minus 11 being that number we're shooting for. So the rest of this week will remain on the colder side, but still plenty of sunshine, and we might even still see that sunshine lasting into Saturday. By Saturday night, however, some snow moves in with some heavier clouds, and the warm-up happens then. Beautiful shot of the sun setting out in Nipua. Thank you, Leah, for this, and keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We'll be back right after this break.
Hey ho, snap a pic for your chance to win with our Best in Fest contest. Festival du Voyageur returns February 13th to the 22nd, and we want to see how you're gearing up. And here are some examples. Kristen is building a snow fort with her daughter. Maria is learning how to skate at the Forks. And Cara is snowshoeing at Burrs Hill Park. These are great. Whatever you're up to, we want to see more. Upload your photo to our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, or post it to social media using the hashtag BestInFest contest. Weekly winners will be selected to win a 4-pack of passes to Festival du Voyageur. You may like playing in the snow, but do you like it this much? The Memphis Zoo sharing footage of a polar bear taking it all in during last weekend's massive snowstorm. As tens of millions of people in Canada and down south dug out, he dug in. A team of London hockey players is heading to the Ontario Seniors Winter Games next week, and each of them is more than 80 years old. CTV's Sean Irving has the story.
On the ice and on the bench, this squad of senior hockey players is full of team spirit.
Go get him, Jamie!
London senior hockey, once known as Huff and Puff, has welcomed players into their 80s and a few into their 90s. But when the most senior in this recreational group decided to form their own over 80 competitive team, they ran into a problem. While submitting an application for the Ontario 55-plus Winter Games in Huntsville, the team found out they will be in a league of their own.
This is groundbreaking for us because I don't think any 80-year-old team has competed at this level before.
Games officials confirm it is a first. So, with no one else to play in their age group, the London team had to agree to face off against kids in their 70s. The thought doesn't scare this 81-year-old defenseman.
Oh, yeah, I said immediately, put me on.
The declaration is not surprising, as most have been playing for 3/4 of a century.
I think I got my first pair of skates when I was 4.
I'm just the type of person that has to be busy, and I've always played all kinds of sports.
The team will be coached by Brian Laporte, but as a young pup of 72, he does know his place.
You can't teach old dogs anything. Gee, come on.
Laughs aside, Brian, who is the convener of the LSH, takes pride in heading up a squad of senior hockey stars.
Hopefully that's an inspiration for Ontario Senior Games.
Some, like John, a survivor of 2 heart attacks, have certainly taken on bigger challenges. It's partly why he was chosen to dub the team the War Years.
War Years, W-A-R-Y-E-A-R-S, because most of us were born during the war years.
And for that reason, young players are forewarned that this group is not about to let you carry a puck by them without a little chip shot.
Coincidental contact, I guess. Yeah.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Well, aren't they inspirational? All right, here's a look outside right now at Portage Avenue at Polo Park. It is a cold start to the day. You can see those exhaust fumes flying in the camera there. We'll be back after this short break. Stay with us.
I look outside, it's still pretty chilly, minus 26, but the Forks looks nice with all the lights out there, the way they glisten. There's something about our city that, you know, it's meant for winter, I suppose. So at least when we are dealing with this kind of cold, we've got things to put a smile on our face, like those lights. Minus 37, yes, it feels even colder than where our actual temperature sits, and that's due to those winds out of the northwest at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 77%. See, we have the lights like that when it's dark. Once the sun is up, we have places. We were at Fort White Alive yesterday talking about all the wintertime fun. There's always the river trail, places to go and kind of get outside and embrace this season. Just make sure that you're properly bundled because it is still cold and below seasonal, but once again, very similar to yesterday, that sun will be shining for many of us. A look at the satellite image, and there's not too much to see. A few extra clouds will hang around here in the very northeastern part of the province. With those clouds, there might be a little bit of light snow. But for most of us, sunshine today and just a few clouds here or there. But the temperatures, that's where we're missing the mark. Minus 11 now would be a seasonal daytime high. Instead, we're probably going to top out at about minus 19. Now, that will come with a breeze, but just a light to moderate one. 20k winds out of the northwest, and then those temperatures dropping off another few degrees overnight. Not far, though. I mean, when we're starting or getting as high as minus 19, which basically, I mean, staying as cool as minus 19. We don't have to drop too far overnight, down to minus 23, which is close to seasonal, minus 22, that normal low. And then still missing the mark for a seasonal high at minus 17 for tomorrow, but we'll get there by the time the weekend rolls around. We just have to get through this week. So the rest of this week will be cool, but the warm up comes with perhaps some overnight snow Saturday.
Thanks, Terry. Winnipeg police are asking drivers to avoid Narin Avenue this morning because of a fire. Police say crews are still on scene at a fire in a commercial building in the 800 block of Narin. That street is closed to traffic. It's expected firefighters will be at the location well past the morning rush hour. We will have more information on this incident as it becomes available. It's rate decision day at the Bank of Canada. Most experts expect the central bank to keep its key lending rate unchanged at 2.25%. After the last rate announcement, Governor Tiff Macklem said he expects inflation to hold at 2% this year. If that changes, Macklem said the bank is ready to respond. Along with today's rate announcement, the Bank of Canada will release its updated economic forecast. A family-owned restaurant is making a bold move to try to save thousands in fees. The small-town business announced it's going cash only to keep prices down. But in this digital day and age, it's a move getting mixed reactions. CTV's Arson spoke with the owner in Morden.
Cash tills sliding out, and beef patties on the grill. You might be able to hear the cash till sound more often at Moment in Time Neighborhood Grill here in Morden. That's because owner Alex Kansky made a bold move to go cash only, not accepting card payments. He says it's because of the fees.
For us, it's been about $7,500 a year. So next February is 3 years for us, so that's just over $22,000.
Kansky announced the move last Thursday. So far, he says reactions from customers have been mixed.
I've received an email just telling me that they think it's a really bad idea and that they probably won't be coming because that's all they carry is cards.
Customers like Josh Nichols says it's worth it to go get cash.
I was hungry and I really wanted to eat here, so I made the effort. Now that I know, I'll just always have cash on me.
Michelle Auger is the Director of Trade and Marketplace with the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. She says the decision to drop card payments is an interesting one, but she isn't surprised.
We're at a time right now where all of operating business lines, they're all increasing. And so there has to be a trade-off for some small business owner. They're looking at where can we save money? And if that's an option, it seems like that is the business decision that they are making at this time.
Kansky adds he will continue to try to keep his prices down. Harrison Shin, CTV News, Morden, Manitoba.
Mark Carney is holding firm to his highly regarded speech to the World Economic Forum, despite claims by a Donald Trump insider. He says the Prime Minister aggressively walked back some of his remarks in a phone call with the U.S. President. CTV's Mike LeCouture has the details.
I meant what I said in Davos.
Prime Minister Mark Carney stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China.
I explained to him what we're doing, 12 new deals on 4 continents in 6 months. He was impressed. And what we intend to do going forward, as well as the opportunity to, of course, move forward on CUSMA.
Let's talk about the Prime Minister, or if you prefer, Governor of Canada.
12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
He spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was
very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Asked specifically about that.
So you didn't walk back your comments?
No.
But there was no public readout of the conversation between Trump and Carney, something the Conservatives are criticizing. Michael Chong wrote on social media, "It is unacceptable that Canadians and journalists learned of this recent call from American media." Besson's comments come days after Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Canada if the government signs a free trade agreement with China, something Carney says he's not pursuing. Political analysts believe the current strategy is to keep calm.
Trump is going to make noise. He's going to flash. He's going to swear. He's going to stamp his feet. Just take a breath, take a moment. Chances are the storm will pass, and it has.
The Prime Minister says he reiterated in his conversation with the President that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Scientists are using GPS to track the movement of monarch butterflies. They are being fitted with trackers that can relay their location in real time. The movement of monarch is usually tracked through sightings. This new tracking method is expected to provide data on which route the butterflies take and how their migration affects local environments. And here's a look at what's happening now along the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things are still light at this point in the drive. If you see any issues out there, please let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is $1.17. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.15. And the lowest price in the city is $1.10. All this information is on gasbuddy.com. All right, coming up, it's Literacy Week, and Ken is learning all about it this morning at the Millennium Library. Stay with us for more on what's happening.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
All right, we know we've still got some cold weather that we've got to get through, probably for another few days before we're starting to see things returning to seasonal or maybe even slightly above. The weekend is looking so much better, although even this, come on, it's so much better than this past weekend. So relatively speaking, we're doing okay, although it is still going to be another below seasonal day. Minus 26 is where we're sitting right now, and it feels like minus 37 once you're factoring in the wind, and it doesn't even take much. It's just an 18K wind. It's out of the northwest this morning, with the pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 77%. Mainly clear condition. I mean, honestly, it's too dark to really tell. The sun will be up at about 8:06 this morning, setting at 5:16. So again, those longer days, not the warmer days yet. But as I mentioned, it's only a few more days before we start to see the warm-up or feel the warm-up happening. That'll be moving in for this coming weekend. But up until then, we get to enjoy the sunshine. So there are some perks to the colder weather. A clear day ahead through most of the province. Northeastern Manitoba is where there might be a few extra clouds, and with those clouds, a little light snow, but just in that northeastern part. Let's head on over and see where Ainsley's at and what she's up to this morning. Hey, Ainsley.
Good morning, Terry. We're at the Millennium Library. Tegan Taylor, librarian, joins us now. I am embarrassed to admit I actually hadn't been inside the Millennium Library, but I love it. It's a beautiful space, and we're encouraging folks to do all of that and get a library card, no less.
Yes, absolutely. Well, February is I Love to Read month, so we have a whole month of wonderful activities planned at all of the library branches. There's going to be performers, there's our regular early literacy programs, and yes, we want people coming out and getting library cards.
There's going to be fireworks, there's going to be jugglers, there's going to be a cannoli truck. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you want to bring the people what they want, but truly, the kids are going to absolutely love it. And another great way to encourage them to come on in is making their library cards special.
Absolutely. We have 3 really great options right now for kids' library cards. So they can come in, they can pick their own card. It feels really personal to them, and it's a great way to get them excited about checking out books.
Mm-hmm. And these were specially designed by kids in the community.
Yes, that's right. So this one and the far one at the end, which is my favorite with the potato, are from kids who entered our Design a Library Card contest. And so these are some of our contest winners with their really fun designs.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we want people to physically come in, But obviously, we're in Winnipeg and it can be cold sometimes. So there's virtual programming.
Yes, so Tuesday evenings in February, we have our Stay Cozy and Warm online story times. You can register for them at our program and events calendar. And at the end of February, February 24th, we have a really special guest. We have an Anishinaabe puppeteer, John Paul Chalikoff, for what I think is going to be my favorite program of the month.
Oh, see, I knew that there was a great variety. Before we're out of time, I've found the right audience in speaking to a librarian. But why is literacy so important, especially at a young age?
Well, encouraging kids to learn to read, sort of getting them ready to read before kindergarten, really sets them up for a lifetime of success. It sets them up for a lifetime of learning, and it's so important that we encourage our young kids to learn to read.
Thank you so much. Okay, I love to watch Your Morning Winnipeg, and so do you. Stay with us.
A look at the early markets this morning. The Dow Jones is 16 points up. The Nasdaq jumped 234 points. The S&P index added 24 points. The Canadian dollar increased to 73.75 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng is 699 points higher, and the Nikkei had small gains. Good morning. It is 6:46. People who need to have day surgery at Victoria Hospital will soon have shorter wait times. It's all thanks to some unique technology upgrades coming to the hospital. This is a minimally invasive surgical suite at Victoria Hospital, and it's going to be getting a major upgrade. Thanks to the Victoria Hospital Foundation, they're adding new state-of-the-art technology for laparoscopic surgery called ICG. It allows the hospital surgeons to do surgeries more quickly and safely, and officials say it promises better outcomes, including less pain, lower risk of complications, and faster recovery times.
Currently, we're using equipment circa about 2015. And so we're upgrading, it's like upgrading your TV from sort of 720p up to 4K. And so it makes a big difference when we're operating and looking at the screens.
The upgrades will be installed later this year, and the Victoria Hospital Foundation plans to raise an additional $2 million, so all the remaining surgical suites in the hospital can be upgraded as well. Surrey, BC is asking for Ottawa's help to deal with rising cases of extortion.
City's saying, help us. We cannot handle this.
Council passed a motion this week calling on Ottawa to declare a national state of emergency. January is not over yet, and 36 extortion cases have been reported in Surrey this month. And it's not just Surrey. Over the weekend, shots were fired at a Calgary home. No one was hurt, and police say it was likely linked to extortion. The public safety minister is expected to meet with BC officials and the premier this week. In the U.S., a major winter storm followed by a deep freeze is being blamed for more than 40 deaths. In the South, Tennessee residents are still being urged to stay home and avoid travel. Further north in New York City, emergency officials say conditions are expected to worsen and last for days, with another surge of Arctic air on the way. Vitamin D is a critical part of overall health and can be acquired through safe sun exposure. But when it's cold outside, experts say maintaining proper levels gets harder. Low levels of vitamin D can lead to symptoms such as fatigue, bone pain, muscle weakness, and mood changes. The CDC says vitamin D deficiency may also raise the risk of falling. And at this time of year, so can the weather.
We don't want them to fracture a bone, so it's important to have strong, healthy bones, especially in the winter.
Experts say you can help maintain vitamin D levels by going outside for about 15 minutes most days of the week, or a little longer if an underlying medical condition prevents proper absorption. The nutrient can also be found naturally in foods like eggs, fatty fish, as well as fortified cereals and juices. The Winnipeg Jets were looking to snap a two-game losing skid last night as they hosted the New Jersey Devils at Canada Life Centre. Only about a minute 30 gone in the first. Winnipeg is on the board thanks to this goal. Gabriel Velarde and Kyle Connor gets the assist as Mark Scheifele scores his 26th goal of the season, and it's 1-0 for the Jets. In the second, about 3.5 minutes in, this line again combines for a Jets goal. Connor and Scheifele pick up assists as Velarde scores to make it 2-1 Jets. Later in the second, the Jets go up another goal by Cole Koepke, and they make it 4-1 with about 3 minutes left in the second. On this goal, Vladislav Nemestikov feeds into Niederreiter, and it's 4-1 Jets. The Jets let New Jersey score a couple of times in the third, but they hang on for a final Jets 4, Devils 3. Connor Hellebuck stopped 26 of 29 shots. Winnipeg begins a road swing with a game Thursday against Tampa Bay. That game starts at 6 p.m. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Arson Avenue is completely closed from Henderson to Brazier for construction. Valor Road is completely closed between Riddle and Wooliver for water work. And Morley Avenue is completely closed between Osborne and Hay for construction. If you have any other traffic tips, text them to us, please.
All right, it's minus 26 outside. It feels like minus 37 on. Even a closer look at those lights down at the Forks. It does look pretty, doesn't it? Northwest winds, they're 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 77%. A chilly start to your morning, but I feel like we're getting used to this now. And the cold will still continue through the rest of this week, but then we're finally getting a break, and it will be a pleasant one this weekend. Temperatures will be on the rise quite nicely. Now, this morning, we do have one part of the province where the temperatures aren't quite as harsh as the rest, and that's here in northeastern Manitoba, and it's due to the extra clouds, a few extra clouds, perhaps a little bit of light snow as well, but it is a slightly milder morning for you than through the rest of the province where the conditions are a little more clear. So yes, the clouds could bring a little bit of light flurry activity. For everybody else, it will be a mainly sunny day. Minus teens, high minus teens, low minus 20s. That's what we can expect out of the day, and that includes much of southern Manitoba, where a normal daytime high would put us at about minus 11. So we're still nowhere near those numbers that would be back to what is normal for this time of year, but we had the sunshine again. We had it yesterday. We had sunshine and light winds, and honestly, I mean, it was so much better than what we endured over the weekend, or even on Monday, because Monday still had some pretty intense winds. So it was nice to get that little bit of a break from it. And tomorrow as well, in fact, the rest of this week, fairly clear skies, lots of sunshine, but yes, we are still dealing with these below seasonal temperatures. That will all change though by the time the weekend rolls around. So another few days of sunshine and cold, and then the warm up actually takes us above seasonal. I mentioned minus 11 being normal. We will perhaps see some of that sunshine lingering into the start of Saturday. By Saturday night though, heavier clouds and a little bit of light snow, and those clouds will continue through the rest of the weekend, maybe even into the start of next week. But look at this change up with the temperatures. Back up to seasonal, maybe even above at times, some minus single digits. It'll certainly be a nice change up to where we've been or where we were this past weekend when we endured the cold.
Thank you, Terry. Air Miles is one of Canada's most popular and longest running loyalty programs. Now it's getting a new name, Blue Rewards. What does this mean for you if you're already an Air Miles member? CTV's Pat Foran explains.
Air Miles has been in operation for more than 30 years, and this summer the familiar Air Miles logo with an airplane will be replaced with a new look and new name, Blue Rewards. BMO owns the loyalty program and says no action for clients is needed at this time, and any miles you have will hold their value.
If you got $100 worth of something you're saving up for a gift card, a vacuum, or travel, you'll have $100 worth when we launch Blue Rewards in the summer.
BMO says it's adding new partners and new ways to earn, including the ability to earn points on groceries and food deliveries. Air Miles is a well-known brand, but loyalty card experts say it was time for an update.
Air Miles really needed a name change more than anything else. It's called Air Miles. It's got an airplane for its logo, but the brand has evolved over the years, especially since BMO purchased them. They're more of a general rewards program.
BMO is also hoping more Canadians will make the switch to its bank to take advantage of additional perks connected with the program. Rewards Canada, which studies loyalty programs, says more Canadians are no longer saving years for dream vacations with points, but instead are cashing them in more often for low-value rewards.
These shopping rewards or these everyday rewards, kind of like Blue Rewards, where you can get value just for a little bit amount of points. You don't have to spend years collecting points. You can maybe, after a month, you might have enough points to get $20 off something.
Rewards Canada recently announced its top 5 rewards cards. Number 1, American Express, followed by Aeroplan, Scene, Avion Rewards, and Air Miles, now Blue Rewards. Loyalty programs want your business. Barry Choi says make sure you pick one that best suits your spending.
Is the card that you have in your wallet right now making sense for you as far as a loyalty perspective is concerned? If not, it might be worth switching where you can earn more points that you can actually use for whether it be merchandise, groceries, or travel.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Guess is a little dog in Vancouver with a passion for big sticks. The pup's collection is getting some attention online while also inspiring her owner in an unexpectedly creative way. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has the story.
This is a story about a dog named Guess and the definite potential of a stick.
Quite early on, we found out she has a propensity to lift very large sticks.
So, like many proud parents, Carrie Walker captured Guess's accomplishments on video.
I just thought it was really impressive, her strength and determination.
And so many other people said they were inspired to see the little dog pursuing her big dreams that Carrie began posting Guess with Sticks videos on social media.
I think it's just a laugh, a little nugget of joy.
And that could have been the end of it. Until the sticks that Guess deposited at the end of the driveway after every walk grew into an impressive pile. And Carrie, who's a professional artist, found herself feeling unexpectedly inspired.
It was a big part of my life and just thought, I'm gonna draw one. But then I think also it was like, oh, that's so stupid, such a dumb idea.
Because serious artists don't do silly things like draw dog sticks, Carrie thought, before considering how Guess, even when she doesn't succeed in picking up a stick, never fails to try.
Yeah, I took my cue from Guess.
Carrie started by capturing the general texture of a stick.
Found them really beautiful.
Before documenting every specific detail.
Sort of just like traveling through this world that's contained in the stick.
And by the time she'd completed almost a dozen life-size stick drawings, Carrie was invited to exhibit them at a very real art gallery to display her little dog's big inspiration.
She's not questioning her impulse. Her impulse is you pick up a stick and you take it home. You're following your impulse, I'll follow my impulse.
And now that her drawings are being displayed with the actual sticks that inspired them, the idea no longer seems so silly. Because during these often troubling times, what could be more serious than simply striving to make people smile?
It's like a moral responsibility to share that joy with people if you can.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
That cutie was not walking in a straight line at all. Such a great story. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to take a break here, but take a look at what's happening right now in McPhillip Street. Things are picking up, but overall moving well. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, January 28th. Today, an ongoing investigation. What police are saying about an arson and extortion ring. Plus, up in flames. Which Manitoba First Nation saw a school destroyed by a fire? And the votes are in. What were the winners in the city's Snowplow naming contest? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. It is 7 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much. We're halfway through the week. We're getting there, and soon to get to the warmer temperatures as well. But we're going to tell you at 7:52 about Women's Shelters Canada. They're putting on a brand new campaign, and it's all about raising awareness about domestic violence and how it affects not just the home life, but also the work life, and how employers are responsible for ensuring that everything is okay. So we're going to tell you what the expectations are, what the legalities are, as well as what the campaign looks like and why it's important. But again, the weather, it's still cold today, but it will change soon.
Soon. Maybe not soon enough, but soon. Okay. The rest of this week, we just got more of the same. And honestly, yesterday wasn't too bad. The best thing about it, of course, was the sunshine. So really, we'll have that to look forward to today. Of course, we've got to wait until the 8 o'clock hour before it even begins to rise. But a minute earlier than yesterday and sets 2 minutes later. So we get about 3 minutes extension on each day. And that's going to make us feel a little better. And eventually, it will come with some warmer days. Minus 26. 36. We're not there yet. Minus 37 is what it feels like, and that's once you're factoring in that wind out of the northwest, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 77%. But a few more minutes to enjoy that sunshine, which we will be seeing through most of the province today. The exception to the sunshine will be the heavier clouds up in the northeast, where it's actually a slightly milder start to the day than for most of us. Where those clouds are, it acts as a little bit of insulation, so a few degrees warmer versus the slightly colder morning that many of us are waking up to once again. But for many of us, we will see a lot of that sunshine through the day, and that won't necessarily be the case in the northwest. Instead, you've got the clouds already, but a little bit of snow that'll be moving right down along that eastern border as well. We might see a few of those clouds moving in overnight and into tomorrow morning, but they won't be lasting, clearing as the day goes on. Another sunny one to, I was going to say to finish off the week. No, tomorrow's just Thursday. Slow down. By Friday, Friday, lots of sunshine still with the colder temperatures until the end of the week, but the weekend will be bringing some much warmer weather. So a nice little rise with the temperatures, a slight change in the conditions. We might get that sunshine lasting into Saturday. By Saturday night, though, heavier clouds with some snow, and that'll take us into Sunday and beyond. But what can you get up to with all of this snow? Maybe some snowmobiling. That's what River was drawing about, him and his dad out on the snow machine there. Keep the art coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Pay up or watch your business burn. That's the choice several business owners in the city's North End were given this summer in a string of extortion and arson attacks. And now police believe they know who is behind the crimes. Here's CTV's Stanton Unger.
An employee at this convenience store on Selkirk Avenue says back in July, someone lit a fire near the back door. Now, police allege it was all part of an arson and extortion ring.
During this investigation, it was learned that a group of individuals, some from Winnipeg and others from Eastern Canada, were sent to threaten and extort local business owners using arson as a weapon.
On Tuesday, police identified 7 suspects, 5 of whom have been arrested and are facing various charges including arson and extortion. 2 suspects remain on the loose. Farnham Nabil is wanted on 4 counts of conspiracy to commit an indictable offense, and Jermaine Weeks is wanted on 2 counts of extortion.
We're coming for you. Simple. We're not going to stop.
Police have linked fires at 2 Selkirk Avenue convenience stores and a warehouse on Spruce Street, as well as a theft at a Portage Avenue business. Investigators allege the owners of 3 other convenience stores on Selkirk Avenue and Main Street were extorted for money or threatened with extortion in exchange for protection from arson. Inspector Jennifer McKinnon says these crimes all happened in July, and in each case, there's a common link.
They're all South Asian owned. So we can't look past that.
However, she says it's unclear at this time if that's why they were targeted. Now, these crimes resemble other cases Winnipeg has seen. In November last year, 2 masked men walked into this Logan Avenue convenience store, forced the employee out at gunpoint, and then lit the store on fire. The owner says he had previously been threatened with arson. And in July, someone broke into Tita's Thai restaurant on Donald Street and tried lighting it on fire. Police are not linking these cases and no one has been charged, but the investigations are ongoing.
The business owners should know that it is a priority for the police service. We have not forgotten about them. We just need the time to do what we do.
And meanwhile, Winnipeg's Mayor Scott Gillingham says,
we won't be intimidated as a city. If people think that they can, engage in extortion attempts, our police will investigate, we will make arrests, and we'll hold people accountable.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Police say while these arrests mark important progress, the investigation is not over yet. Anyone with information about the 2 outstanding suspects, Farnham Nabil and Jermaine Weeks, is asked to contact police or make an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. The charges have not been tested in court. A school on a northern Manitoba First Nation went up in flames Tuesday morning. Manitoba RCMP were called to Barons River School around 3 a.m. It took fire crews around 6 hours to contain the blaze, and by that time, there wasn't much left. The cause isn't yet known. While no one was inside when the fire broke out, residents were told to stay indoors because of the heavy smoke. Barons River First Nation is located about 275 kilometers north of Winnipeg, and community officials are scrambling to find a new space for the 380 students who've been displaced. Many people in southern Ontario felt the earth shake last night. According to Environment Canada, a 3.7 magnitude earthquake struck at 11:59 Eastern Time near Orilla and Barrie. Earthquakes Canada says there are no reports of damage and none would be expected. The quake was recorded southeast of Orilla, about 100 kilometers north of Toronto. People across the GTA and as far south as St. Catharines said they felt the shaking. This map shows where it was felt across southern Ontario. The votes have been tallied, and a dozen of the city's snow clearing machines are sporting new names, all submitted and voted on by Winnipeggers. The 12 winning picks from more than 1,700 submissions include Dancing Blade, Melt Stiegel, Emperor Plopatine, Kevin Shovel Snow Off, Sled Penner, and Grady Oliveira. As you may have noticed, half of them are plays on notable people in the local sports scene. Then there is also Greg. The reason being, and I quote, Greg is the cranky old man snowplow who keeps the other snowplows in line but with an unnecessary attitude. Every story needs a villain.
I was out in the community, whether I was at the grocery store, people were coming, or wherever it will be, people came up to me with names and ideas as well. I was getting text messages from people suggesting names. I want you to know I had nothing to do with choosing the names. I didn't even vote, just to stay neutral as the mayor of the city.
Classrooms were also asked to submit their favorite team name for a group of sidewalk clearing machines. Submissions included Stormwalkers, Snow Patrols, and the Snowbusters. But the winning submission came from École Van Bellingham, Burger Kings. You'll be able to see all the machines bearing their new names out on the streets soon. Milt Stiegel, reacting on social media to the plow named for him, said, quote, "If I couldn't love Winnipeg anymore, tackling big issues and naming a giant snowplow after me, gotta love Winnipeg." Stiegel added, "Thanks for the honor. I promise to keep the roots clear, so proud to be part of this wonderful city." Very fun. Taking a look now at the current traffic situation along Kenniston and Sterling Lyon. I don't see Greg anywhere here, but there is a traffic alert. Narin is closed in both directions from Chester to Kent for a fire. So avoid the area and expect delays this morning in the rush. If you have any other traffic tips or updates, please share them to us. Text them to us at 10400.
Amazon says it is eliminating 16,000 corporate employees, marking its second round of mass job cuts since October, when it shed 14,000 roles. The latest reductions were announced by Amazon's Senior Vice President of People Experience and Technology, Beth Galletti, who described the move as part of efforts to cut back on bureaucracy in the company. The cuts underscore Amazon's push to operate more efficiently as it reshapes the organization amid rapid advances in AI. While the company initially linked the October layoffs to AI-driven changes, CEO Andy Jassy later said those reductions were more about cultural fit than cost savings or automation. ASML raised its full-year dividend by 17% as it delivered higher year-over-year net sales and income for 2025 on the back of a robust fourth quarter, sending its shares up today. Bookings in the fourth quarter were a record 13.2 billion euros as artificial intelligence fueled demand for its most sophisticated equipment, the Veldhoven, Netherlands-based company said in a statement on Wednesday. Now, the news comes hours before Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla report their earnings and could be a positive indicator of what to expect. Those are your morning business headlines. From BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go now to the Millennium Library, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning, telling us about all kinds of programs happening around the city involving literacy. Good morning.
Yes, and the one word that Manitobans like most is free fun. And the great thing about that is, well, one, you can let your kids run off some steam or have them read. And we're at the Millennium Library this morning. But also, there's so many different opportunities for activities. And hey, everybody, keep it down. No, I'm just kidding. No one's here. But this booklet, all free stuff, everything from free swims to other leisure activities, things that you might want to check out online too. So stay with us throughout the morning. We are also talking I Love to Read Month and another city program, or service, I should say, Doggy Dates.
Oh, that's
Pup
fun.
Again.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's still dark out there, but we will see the sunshine today.
Likely, although some heavier clouds just moved in the last little bit now, and even a little bit of light snow, although I do expect that we'll be seeing some pockets of sunshine, and plenty of them, especially later on as the day continues. Minus 25 is where we're sitting currently, so a little bit of a warm-up from last hour as those clouds moved in, and minus 35, that's what it's feeling like at this moment when you're factoring in a 13K wind out of the northwest, so even those winds have eased somewhat. Pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 80%, and yes, while we do have a few clouds right now and even a few scattered flakes of snow, those clouds not so heavy that the sun won't be able to shine through them, and we will enjoy some sunshine throughout the day today. Throughout much of the province, where the clouds will actually be on the heavier side and you might not see as much sunshine, will be up in the far northeastern part of the province with maybe a little more significant snowfall. I say there's some light flurries right now, but they really are incredibly light. And so northwestern Manitoba, maybe a little more snow that'll run right along that very eastern border. Most of us, though, fair bit of sunshine still with these cold temps for another few days.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
It's time now for our question of the day. Today is Lego Day, so we're asking, what is your favorite Lego? Share your picture with us. This is a picture from my house. My son built this pyramid. We love it. It's now a decorative piece in my home, and it's very cool. There's a lot of cool features in the back that you can't see. So we want you to text your answer to 10400. Share your photos with us. Make sure to follow the automated instruction so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets. Furry, feathered, or scaly, your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. Good morning. Winnipeg police are asking drivers to avoid Narin Avenue this morning because of a fire. Police say crews are still on scene at a fire in a commercial building in the 800 block of Narin, which is closed to traffic in both directions from Chester Street to Kent Street. The call out first came at around 2:30 this morning. No injuries have been reported. It's expected firefighters will be at the location well past the morning rush hour. We will have more information on this incident as it becomes available. We're getting an inside look at the demolition and redevelopment of Portage Place. True North purchased the mall back in 2024. The $650 million project got underway this past fall. The focus over the next few months is getting deconstruction work for the 12-story healthcare tower finished before the building phase starts this summer. True North says it will be followed by work on a 15-story housing tower.
There'll be affordable and deeply affordable units available in the space, and we hope to see construction start on it later this winter. I can't give you an exact date.
Portions of the shopping center remain open to the public, and there's some good news for the skateboard community. The skate park is moving to 323 Portage Avenue during construction. True North hopes to have the temporary location open by the end of March. A new study suggests the shingles vaccine may help prevent or delay the onset of dementia. The study was led by researchers at McMaster University and Stanford. It analyzed health data over a 5.5-year period for more than 250,000 Ontario seniors. Researchers say the cohort that was eligible for the free vaccine based on their age had a lower probability of receiving a new dementia diagnosis by an absolute difference of 2% compared to the group ineligible for the vaccine. Experts say the difference works out to about 2 fewer dementia cases per 100 people. Another familiar face is returning to Winnipeg for the 2026 CFL season.
Wants to throw here. Can't go. Pressure right up the middle. Kyrie Wilson gets there.
The Blue Bombers have re-signed linebacker Kyrie Wilson to a 1-year contract extension. The 33-year-old finished last season with 51 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Wilson is entering his 9th season as a Bomber and has 2 Grey Cup championships on his resume. Here's a look now at what's going on in traffic along Osborne Street. Things are slowly picking up over here, but overall moving quite well. If you have any traffic tips to share with us, please text them at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
In entertainment, a pair of Grammy winners is teaming up for a global tour, and you can catch Neo and Akon here in Winnipeg later this year.
So sick of love songs, so tired of tears.
Neo and Akon will bring their Nights Like This tour to Canada Life Centre on Tuesday, June 23rd. They're promising a celebration of era-defining hits, sing-along themes, and club classics during a unique back-and-forth set. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. K-pop Demon Hunters fans, both young and old, will soon have a chance to collect a new line of dolls based on the movie's characters. The dolls are inspired by Rumi, Zoe, and Mira, and will come with 2 looks, including dolls who sing Golden in their signature tasseled jacket. The toys will go on sale for all this summer. And it appears there's a lot of Nikki Glazier fans here in Manitoba. The comedian and Golden Globes host is proving so popular, she's adding a second show to her Winnipeg stop this summer.
I think some moms think that if you don't have kids, you're a selfish person. And I get that. I just don't feel like devoting my free time to something that could marry a DJ. I just think that's reckless.
If you missed buying tickets for the August 7th show of Glazier's The Stunning Tour, you're in luck. She's now added a second show at the Centennial Concert Hall a day earlier on August the 6th at 7 p.m. Tickets for the new performance go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. through the Centennial Concert Hall box office. Coming up tonight on CTV, who's behind the mask? The Masked Singer starts at 7. Fear Factor, House of Fear comes next at 8. Shark Tank is on at 9. And Shifting Gears winds up at 10 o'clock. It's your Wednesday primetime lineup here on CTV. All right, the sun is slowly going to arrive in about less than an hour, Terry.
Less than an hour now, yeah.
The days are getting longer, though.
Isn't that a nice thought? I know. It's one thing that we can cling to this time of year, because I know winter always tends to, like, maybe hang on a little longer than a lot of us would like to see. And certainly when we're coming off of the extreme cold that we had this weekend, only to find ourselves still in very much a cold. There will be some better news ahead, not only with those longer days, but even with some warmer temperatures, which we'll start to see arriving by the weekend. The Golden Boy is glowing nicely, though, as we look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. So yes, those days, we're adding about 3 minutes of daylight each morning. Well, 1 each morning, 2 by the afternoon, or sometimes 2 minutes in the morning, 1 minute in the afternoon. But either way, we are starting to see those longer days, and they've been on the brighter side. Yesterday, plenty of sunshine. Today, I'm expecting to see more, although just recently we had some heavier clouds moving in, and now there's just a little bit of light snow out there. Temperature-wise, yes, a little bit below seasonal, for some, I should say, because minus 22 is a normal low, and we do have a few places that are sitting right at that seasonal mark. Here in Winnipeg, over in Brandon as well, Dauphin, Swan River. Many of us are a few degrees below what you would expect this time of year. Moving up into northern Manitoba, and you can see the difference between the northeast and the temperatures in the low 20s, or the northwest and the temperatures in the mid-minus 20s, and that's the clouds that you're seeing make a difference. As far as winds go, sure, that makes a difference as well. Suddenly minus 20s feel in the minus 30s, and that's the case for us here throughout the south as well. So even though the winds aren't exactly strong, they still add a bit of a bite. Mainly clear conditions, and we will enjoy some sunshine today. I mentioned these clouds that brought a little light snow this morning. The sun will still shine through them. Minus 24 as kids get into the classroom, minus 19 by the time they're headed home from school today. That's actually our daytime high, and that keeps us below seasonal. Minus 11, a normal high. We're not going to get there this week, but we'll likely surpass those numbers for the weekend. Heavier clouds will be moving in, though, and we could even see some light snow Saturday night. But it was the sun rising out in the Neepawa area, or just southwest of Neepawa, where Leah snapped this stunner. Keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Terry. Snap a pic for your chance to win with our Best in Fest contest. Festival du Voyageur returns February 13th to the 22nd, and we want to see how you're gearing up. And here are some examples people have shared with us. Kristen is building a snow fort with her daughter. Maria is learning how to skate at the Forks, and Cara is snowshoeing at Birds Hill Park. Whatever it is you're doing, we want to see more of it. Please upload your photo to our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, or post it to social media using the hashtag BestInFest contest. Weekly winners will be selected to win a 4-pack of passes to Festival du Voyageur. French lawmakers have passed a bill to ban social media use by children under 15, following Australia in a push to curb excessive screen time. CTV's Abigail Beeman looks into whether Canada plans to go the same route.
France's National Assembly votes in favor of a social media ban for children under 15. The president wants the ban in place by the next school year, posting, "Because our children's brains are not for sale." While in LA, a landmark series of trials begins with parents, teens, and school districts taking social media giants to court over addiction claims. Snapchat and TikTok reportedly settled in advance, leaving Meta, Facebook and Instagram's parent company, and YouTube.
We haven't landed on anything yet.
In Canada, the government is planning new online harm legislation after the last bill died with the Trudeau government, but no update on when or whether it will include a similar ban to France and Australia.
The objective of a new Online Harms Act would be to protect kids, first and foremost. And also there's a legitimate concern of the state protecting freedom of expression, and that is also key. So there's a balancing act.
It can be used as a very vicious tool to harass, bully, stalk, defame, hurt people.
Lawyer Ma'anit Zemel's office gets at least a call a day looking for help. She's calling for nuanced regulations that are enforceable and tailored to specific harms like cyberbullying or overuse, saying a full-out ban is not the answer.
The kids just get around it by using, whether it's VPNs or just saying they're older. And, you know, from a legal perspective here, it might be challenged for all kinds of reasons.
CTV News reached out to Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and Meta. By deadline, only Meta responded, saying they'll comply with any regulations, but governments considering bans should be careful not to push teens towards unregulated, less safe sites. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
We're talking about Literacy Week and some of the programs happening in Winnipeg's Leisure Guide. Stay with us for more. Let's go back to Ainsley McPhail now, who's live at the Millennium Library. Winnipeg's Leisure Guide has a lot of free activities on tap for people if they have great ideas. Good morning.
The Idea Mill Makerspace is where we're sitting, Rochelle. And you mentioned free, which I love, but I honestly feel like it can't possibly be. It can't possibly be free because all the stuff I'm looking around in the lab is absolutely incredible. Courtney Campbell's joining us now, and she's going to tell us about the lab itself. So please let us know about the space.
Sure. The Idea Mill is a makerspace, and a makerspace is a community-centered creative space where people come to make things. So we have a lot of different equipment that facilitates that. So some of our most popular items are our sound booths, where you can record podcasts or audio things. There's all of the equipment and instruments and software you need for that. We have our 3D printers, which we have some of the things on the table in front of us that you can make with that. We have computers with specialized software like Adobe Photoshop. We have digitization equipment, so you can take all of your old memories on all those old formats that you can't use anymore, and you can turn them digital. Sewing machines are another popular thing that we have. Most of our items are free. Some have a teeny tiny consumable cost, but most things are absolutely free to use with your library card.
And you have programs running through here too.
Yes, we have lots of programs. We have a lot of craft-centered programs, but also different things like a Make Music Night. We have an Artist Trading Club. We have Sewing Saturdays. So the best way to find out more about that is on our library social media or on our website, or on the Idea Mill website, which is winnipeg.ca/ideamill.
The beautiful thing about this best kept secret is that it's free. Okay, it's free, but barriers too. You're reducing the barriers for creatives to really do their thing.
It's a place where you can try something. You don't have to worry about the cost of the machine. You don't have to worry about paying for the software. You come here, you try it, and you can see if it's something that you want to do for fun, you want to make a business out of. It's a place to get started and try things.
You guys should be thanking me, okay? More free stuff coming up, 7:42.
Thank you. We like free. And we're going to get lots of free sunshine today.
Let's hope for that. Yeah, not just today, for the rest of this week. And that'll be nice to kind of offset the still very cold and below seasonal temperatures that we're dealing with. So minus 25 is where we're sitting right now, and it feels like minus 35. That's with that northwest wind factored in. Even though it's on the lighter side, just 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 80%. Yes, some sunshine is expected today. Many places around the province will enjoy enjoy it. There's just a few clouds that we've seen moving in just recently, but again, the sun will be able to shine through those, no problem at all. They have brought just a light little bit of snow, but it's not going to amount to much at all today. Minus 19, so yes, still with these below seasonal temperatures, and that will continue for another few days. Minus 11, that would be a normal daytime high, and we're still missing the mark and will yet for the rest of this week. But as we've been saying, the sunshine is at least nice to see, and those lighter winds will make things feel a little more pleasant. Minus 23 is where we'll drop to overnight, but the light winds remain in place. Just a few clouds, and again tomorrow we'll enjoy that sunshine all over. Minus 17 seems to be an improvement, although cold still for Friday. Minus 19, and again, plenty of sunshine. We'll have that to wrap up the work week. For the weekend itself, we might kick off the weekend with some sunshine, but overnight on Saturday, we could be seeing some scattered snow that'll continue into Sunday with those heavier clouds. The improvement comes, though, with the temperatures, not just through the weekend. On the other side, too, as we look ahead to next week, we'll remain above the seasonal minus 11. Well, almost. I mean, maybe not on Monday, but seasonal or close to it.
New life is on the way for pieces of our city's past. We're learning about plans to build new housing units in the heart of Winnipeg.
Create a 24/7 urban downtown, we must press forward in reviving vacant historic buildings, reimagining underused surface parking lots, and shaping a vibrant, walkable density that supports a population twice what it is today.
Centre Venture is spearheading plans to convert 4 vacant heritage buildings into housing. The properties listed are the St. Charles Hotel, Ma's Garage, 290 Gary Street, and Alloway Lofts. That's where Johnny G's restaurant was before it was gutted by fire last summer. In total, 297 new housing units are coming to downtown.
The presence of people is critical to safety. It's critical to supporting economic growth and development. You need people, residents, to support local businesses. So it's really, really vital that we have more people living in the downtown. And right now, a credit to all the investors, we are seeing that momentum really take shape here in downtown.
106 of the units announced Tuesday will be affordable housing. Centre Venture is spending more than $4.5 million on these projects. It's part of their ambitious plan to build 750 new downtown units each year. Health Canada is announcing the recall of some arrowroot biscuits due to the possible presence of soft plastic and paper pieces. The recall covers Gerber arrowroot biscuits in the 155-gram package. The affected lot numbers are on your screen. Health Canada advises you to discontinue any use of the recalled product. It should be disposed of or returned to where it was purchased. The recall was triggered by the company, and no injuries have been reported related to consumption of the product. Parents in Alberta are outraged and searching for answers after several children fell ill at a hotel swimming pool. 30 children, mostly from a minor hockey team, got sick while swimming in the pool at the Canmore Inn and Suites.
People just start running out of the pool, and kids are puking in the hallway, and people inside are yelling, "Get out, get out."
Paramedics arrived to assess the children. 11 of them ended up in hospital complaining of throat, back, and chest pain. The town discovered elevated levels of a chlorine-based substance during initial air testing. CTV News pulled public inspection records that show repeated violations for high chlorine levels in the hotel pool. The hotel claims it can't comment on the inspection reports during an ongoing investigation. BC billionaire Jim Pattison is facing backlash over a possible real estate deal linked to ICE.
This boycott of Pattison grocery stores and Pattison media is gaining real traction, and we need to absolutely escalate the pressure while this deal is in talks.
It's all over the sale of a Virginia warehouse that Pattison owns. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security wants to buy it to use as an ICE processing facility. The potential deal is now prompting a push for a boycott of all Pattison-owned companies, including Save On Foods. Pattison's company has since released a statement saying in part, quote, "This transaction is still subject to certain approvals and closing conditions, and they are committed to complying with applicable laws and regulations." There is now a planned protest for Friday outside the Jim Pattison Group offices in Vancouver. A separate protest is also expected on Friday, targeting Vancouver tech company Hootsuite, which has secured a pilot project with ICE to monitor social media discussions about the agency. A Leonardo da Vinci ceiling painting in Milan's Sforza Castle is within sight for visitors during the Winter Olympics. For years, it was hidden by layers of paint, but now it's only behind some scaffolding. The room it's in had been closed to the public for years for the restoration project, but since so many people will be in Milan for the games, they figured they should let their progress be shown off to the world. Small groups will even be allowed to climb the scaffolding for a closer look. These veteran hockey players are ready to show the kids how it's done.
It said immediately, put me on.
A group of 80 and over hockey players in London, Ontario wanted to register for the Ontario 55+ Winter Games, but they ran into an issue. There were no other 80+ teams signed on. So the team will be taking on the up-and-comers in the 70 years and up bracket. Are the boys from London worried? Nope. They're hoping their play will inspire other 80+ teams to sign up. Some road closures to tell you about this morning. Arson Avenue is completely closed from Henderson to Brazier for construction. Valor Road is completely closed between Riddle and Wooliver for water work. And Morley Avenue is completely closed as well between Osborne and Hay for construction. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us. Here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is $1.17. And in Winnipeg, the average is $1.15. But the lowest price in the city is $1.10. All this information is on gasbuddy.com. Right now, looking outside, it's cloudy, -25 with a wind chill feels like -35. More Your Morning Winnipeg after this.
All right, it is -25 outside this morning. I know, still the cold. And then it feels like -35, even though the winds aren't even that strong, but they do have a bit of a bite at 13 clicks out of the northwest. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 80%. It is going to be another cold day today, slightly below seasonal. I suppose, relatively speaking, it's a huge improvement over where we were this past weekend, but still, it is going to be cold for another few days. The nice thing about it will be the sunshine returning. Not that we're seeing it at this time. Some heavier clouds just moved in the last little while. And with those clouds, there's even been a little bit of light snow. Now, much heavier clouds will be endured through the far northwestern part of the province. That's the northeast, by the way. That's where the heavier clouds will be. Northwestern Manitoba, much of the south, will actually see a fair bit of that sunshine today. Now, with those clouds could come a little bit of precipitation, slightly milder temperatures where those clouds provide a bit of a blanket of insulation, so it might not drop off as cold. And it's certainly not as cold first thing this morning as other parts of the province where the sky is a little bit clearer. Other places where the sun will shine, yes, a few degrees cooler yet, high -teens, low -20s versus the mid-teens that we just saw expected through the northwest today. Mid to high -teens here through southwestern Manitoba. A normal daytime high would be around -11, so that's the number that we're shooting for. Still not likely to reach for another few days yet. But yesterday, the sun shone. The winds were light. It was pleasant if you were properly dressed for it, and you can expect more of that again today and again tomorrow and again on Friday. Really, for the rest of this week, that's what we can expect to deal with until the weekend rolls around and the warm-up is in the works by then. It will, however, perhaps come with some heavier clouds and a little bit of light snow. Maybe not first thing Saturday, but by overnight, that flurry activity will move in, carrying us into Sunday with those heavier clouds. But you could see a big difference with those temperatures as we're back up to what you would expect this time of year, maybe even slightly above seasonal.
Thank you, Terry. We love free here in Winnipeg. And Ainsley, you're going to tell us about some fun things you can do for free. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, Rochelle, you have a couple kids, and you probably noticed that both of them are different in different ways. I, for one, wasn't necessarily the library kid, perhaps because I couldn't be quiet for long periods of time. However, the city of Winnipeg has free programs that might have been great for a kid like me. Jessica Carruthers joins us now, and she's going to tell us all about some of those free programs available.
Yeah, good morning, Ainsley. So we're here today and just wanted to talk about our Priceless Fun Guide. You know, we have so many great free programs in here. You know, something for all ages, starting with our children's free play programs. That's for ages 6 to 12. Right now, those programs are offered after school and on weekends. And, you know, you get to enjoy all this fun stuff that we have on the table right now. So we do sports programs, we do art programs. And as you said, you know, the best part, it is free. You don't even need to pre-register. You can just drop in and enjoy the fun. We also have programs for our youth ages, so ages 13 to 17. That's at our youth action centers. Those are primarily also in the evenings and on weekends right now. A great way to go out and meet, other youth your age and enjoy, programs in your community.
Mm-hmm. And brush up on those skills that you might not be thinking about, like swimming, for instance. There's also skating.
Exactly. So we have free public skating. It's a great way to, sharpen some of those skills inside. It's so cold. So, our indoor pools are another great option. We have free swim, all throughout Winnipeg. It's a great idea to pick up a copy of the Prices Fun Guide. You can either get that online at our website. So that's winnipeg.ca/leisure guide, or you can visit the Millennium Library where we are this morning. They're available at all city libraries, at our indoor pools, and at our fitness and leisure centers.
And it's organized quite well too. So if everyone's like, I do not leave St. Vital, well, go to that chapter then.
You're exactly right. We have it organized by, all different areas in Winnipeg, so you don't need to look far to find something that's near you and close to home. We really have something for everyone in here.
Isn't it great? I can't sell you anything. It's free. It's free. I'm the best salesperson on earth. Back to you.
Thank you, Ainsley. In Western Quebec, a unique outdoor skating experience is drawing visitors from across North America. CTV's Dave Charbonneau paid a visit.
For Hannah Shapiro, this winter skating adventure through a forest started with a phone call.
I called my friend in San Francisco. I'm like, hey, I heard about this really cool skating trail. You want to try it? She's like, yeah.
That call led them here to Lac des Loups, located about 60 kilometers northwest of Ottawa.
This is next level. You are skating through a forest. It's incredible. Look, the snow is falling. It couldn't be more perfect out here.
Patinage en forêt offers 6 kilometers of smooth ice winding through a forest.
It's our 10th season. We started in Christmas 2016.
Owner Dave Maillet says the reaction from visitors from around the world is rewarding.
They say that something magical happens here because everybody comes back out of the forest with a big smile on, so obviously we're doing something right, and everybody leaves here in good humor and thanking us and giving us hugs and everything because they enjoyed their experience.
But this isn't the only forest skating trail in the Ottawa and Outaouais region. From Stittsville and Metcalfe to Gatineau, Wakefield and Pembroke, skaters have several options to enjoy winter. For some, the discovery is part of a special occasion.
This is our 10th anniversary, so we came up to the Wakefield Mill, and then we just so happened to find this.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, unlike anything we've ever done.
Others say Patinage en forêt stands out compared to one of Ottawa's most popular skating attractions.
The canal is wonderful. We did that yesterday, but once we got on our skates and started on this trail, this place is just magical. You can just tell that the owner, it's set up perfectly, and it's really a special place.
This couple moved from Poland to Canada in 1990. Not a winter goes by where they don't visit this trail.
This is incredible because you can actually skate in the woods, and that's what makes an incredible experience.
For Shapiro, it's about more than just skating.
It's just so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You really get meditative calm out there, and just being out here, this is what winter's supposed to be.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 10th birthday, Bryce, with love from your family. Happy 5th birthday, Emily, from your family. Happy birthday to wife Tina, with love from your husband Les and the rest of the family. Happy 13th birthday, Dallas, from the Nelsons and little brothers and Papa's family. Happy 24th birthday, Kelly. Love Mom and Dad, who say that you're their adventure seeker who makes them proud. Happy 8th birthday, Owen, with love from all your family. Happy 9th birthday, Brooklyn. Love Dad, Mom, Uma, Papa, and all your brothers and sisters. And happy birthday, Coco Pam. You're 26 again. Love from family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations. Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
All right.
right, minus 19 is where we're headed today with those temperatures. That will keep us well below seasonal. A normal high is minus 11. Last year, 3.4 degrees. That was actually the record. That was just last year that we smashed that record. 3.4 degrees. Honestly, that feels like a dream. Well, actually, no. I would complain. If it got up to 3.4 degrees, I would complain. I know I would. I know myself. There's one thing about, wanting it to be a little bit nicer, wanting it to be a little bit warmer. And then there's those it's too warm. And for wintertime in Winnipeg, when it warms up too much, we miss out on all of the fun. So honestly, I think I'd rather what we're expecting today than 3.4 degrees. What are we expecting today? Maybe a little bit of sunshine. Currently, there's a little bit of light snow that's falling in the city. The winds are light out of the northwest, 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 80%. But we'll probably see some sunshine today. It's not up yet. That'll be happening at about 8:06 and then setting at about 5:16 this afternoon. So we are starting to see those longer days. And it was sunny yesterday, and we're likely to enjoy a bit more of that sunshine again today. Right now, yes, a few extra clouds, maybe some scattered snow, but pockets of sunshine will make it look good. It's just not going to warm up to what you would expect this time of year, with minus 11 being a normal daytime high. We'll top out at about minus 19. Those will be similar temperatures that we can expect for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Terry. It's estimated 1 in 3 Canadian women have experienced domestic violence at one time in their life. Being in an abusive relationship not only affects their personal lives and those of their children, but also their lives at work. Of those experiencing domestic violence, 82% say it impacts their performance on the job. The Women's Shelters Canada is launching a new campaign to raise awareness on the issue and also to inform employers of their legal obligations to support their workers experiencing domestic violence. Joining us now is the Director of Communication and Advocacy, Caitlin Geiger-Bardswich. Good morning, Caitlin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. First of all, let's talk about these numbers. They're shocking. 1 in 3 women in Canada are experiencing domestic violence. Is this growing? Is this a growing problem?
So that's at some point in their lifetime, so it's not at any given time, but it is still a huge number. And we are seeing increases in gender-based violence and in the severity of violence. So for example, before the pandemic, it was 1 woman was killed every 6 days by a current or former partner. Now we're seeing it every 5 days.
Wow. So how does it spill over from their homes to their workplaces?
Yes, this is a question we get a lot, but abusers are very clever in the way that they try to make their lives difficult for the people that they're abusing. So it could be something such as, sabotaging sleep or childcare, sabotaging the way that women can get to work, so hiding keys or not giving money for public transit if there's financial abuse. But it can also be things where employers might think an employee is distracted or just not really interested in the work because she's constantly looking at her phone, but that's because an abuser is constantly texting her or calling, and she knows if she doesn't respond, things will get a lot worse.
So those are just some signs that you're talking about. What other signs are there that there could be something wrong with the employee?
Well, as you said, 82% saw their work negatively impacted. So it could be that suddenly their performance is different. It could be that they, as I said, seem distracted or they seem fearful when they're leaving the workplace. They could be asking people to keep an eye out if their partner shows up at work. So that statistic or that report we talked about also showed that over half of women who experienced domestic violence said that their abuser abused them at or near the workplace, so it can also physically come to work.
Okay, and so employers might look at this employee, think they're slacking off, but they're actually being terrorized at home. And so legally, what are employers entitled to do?
So legally, employers are have the responsibility to keep their employees safe. Occupational health and safety often depends on the province, but it will include sexual or domestic violence. And they have responsibilities to create policies, to have, and also just to be able to, I think it's a moral responsibility as well, to support your employees, but also to recognize that there are options So there is domestic violence leave that is available, and so employers should know that that's available. And in Manitoba, that's 5 days of paid leave and then up to 17 days of protected leave, which means if a woman needs to take a leave of absence to deal with things, she can't be fired from her job.
Okay, and so tell us about this campaign you're working on right now.
Right, so with all of these statistics, we're seeing that women are losing promotions, they're even losing their jobs, and then they're losing their reference letters. So they're not getting reference letters because of that perceived poor performance. And so Refer Her is a reference letter to employers on behalf of these women to sort of say, these are the signs, you need to recognize them, you need to respond appropriately, and then you need to be able to refer your employees to appropriate services. And so we're promoting the domestic violence in your workplace training, which is something that we've developed through funding from the Federal Department of Women and Gender Equality. So the whole campaign is really to drive employers to the referher.ca website in order to sign up for the training.
Okay, well, this is really great advice, not just for the employer, but also the employee who might be getting abused at home. Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing this with us.
Thanks for having me.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we head to Montreal, where the Canadians were hosting the Golden Knights. Habs on the power play in OT. Cole Caulfield shot stop. Juraj Slafkovsky robbed Akira Schmid. Check this out. He's got the glove ready to save the game, and it delivers, sending Slafkovsky into a state of awe. With the glove hand. Can't believe what he just witnessed. What was it? Our must-see moment. That's what it was. Tonight on TSN, we've got a P-Dub doubleheader for you. The Toronto Scepter is facing the Montreal Victoire, and then it's the Vancouver Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Frost. Coverage gets underway at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Wednesday, January 28th. Extortion through arson. Winnipeg police announced a breakthrough and some arrests, although 2 individuals are still at large. Canada's premiers and the Prime Minister are set to meet over the next 2 days in Ottawa. Which major issues are expected to dominate their discussions? And a well-known rewards program gets a makeover. Its owner, a major Canadian bank, is changing more than just the name while hoping their new color choice catches on. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Terry, how many times have you sat in the hair salon chair and told your deepest secrets to your stylist? So many times.
Every
probably.
4 weeks?
Well, it's a good place to sort of let it all out. Either it's the barber's chair or at a hair salon. So we're going to find out about an initiative that's happening right now where its goal is to bring Black people to a place where they feel comfortable to talk about some of the issues that might be affecting their mental health. So we're going to talk about that. And then at 8:45, MTYP has a brand new production. It is called Tad and Birdie. It's a world premiere, and we're going to get details from the playwright.
Nice.
But the weather today, again, it's still cold.
Yeah, it is. I know. We're waiting for the warm-up. Honestly, it's just another few days. But while we're waiting for the warm-up, we do have to be somewhat grateful that this is a warm-up compared to where we were this past weekend. Those extremes behind us now, but yes, it does remain below seasonal. Minus 25 is where we're sitting right now, though it feels like minus 35. The winds at the moment are out of the northwest, 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 80%. We're just minutes away from sunrise now, though, and we'll hopefully see a little bit of it today. A few clouds have just moved in. There's even been a few flakes of snow this morning, but I am expecting that we'll enjoy some of that sunshine today, similar to what we saw yesterday. Similar temperatures, similar conditions, really. More of the same continues. The far northeast is where there's going to be a little bit more in the way of clouds, but also in the way of snow. You can see the flurries up tucked into that corner that might run along this eastern border as the day goes on. But many of us will enjoy that sunshine for today. It's just that, yes, it will remain below seasonal for another few days. In fact, the rest of this week, don't expect to see much change with the conditions or with the temperatures for that matter. But by the time the weekend rolls around, that's when we should start to see some improvements. I know it's been a while since we talked about above seasonal temperatures, but we'll get there, just not yet. The next few days, yes, Yes, sunshine, high minus teens, but here for the weekend you can see the warm up in the works. That could, though, come with some overnight snow Saturday and some heavier clouds lingering through Sunday. Thank you to River, who's excited about some of the wintertime fun, like snowmobiling with his dad. That's what he's drawing about here. And keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Drivers are still being asked to stay well away from Narin Avenue in East Elmwood this morning as routes are blocked by firefighting efforts. The city of Winnipeg says crews are still on scene at a fire in a commercial building in the 800 block of Narin, which is closed to traffic in both directions from Chester Street to Kent Street. The call out first came at around 2:30 this morning. No injuries have been reported. It's expected firefighters will be at the location well past the morning rush hour. We will have more information on this incident as it becomes available. A series of arsons and extortions. Police have arrested 5 people and 2 Canada-wide warrants have been issued.
We continued and pursued this investigation at all odds, and that meant going to other jurisdictions. We will go to other jurisdictions to resolve these cases for the business owners.
Winnipeg police say it all started in July of 2025. A group of people was being sent to the local businesses and would threaten to set fire to them if they didn't pay up. Police say all of the stores are owned by people from South Asian backgrounds. However, they say it's still unclear if it was the community that was being targeted or the standalone business itself.
These are standalone stores. They're small business owners. They're not part of a chain or a franchise. They're often, their employees are staffed that, you know, there may be some barriers, and I think it's makes them vulnerable. Right, to being targeted because you're targeting a business owner. You're not targeting a franchise of businesses. So I think it made these loan stores more vulnerable to this type of.
Police have issued Canada-wide warrants for 2 suspects. Authorities are looking for 29-year-old Farhan Nabil and 40-year-old Jermaine Weeks. Police believe the 2 are no longer in Winnipeg. None of the allegations against the suspects in this case have been tested in court. Officials at a First Nation community on the eastern shores of Lake Winnipeg are scrambling to find alternate space for nearly 400 school students following a fire early Tuesday. Manitoba RCMP were called to Barons River School around 3 a.m. It took fire crews around 6 hours to contain the blaze, and by that time, there wasn't much of it left. While no one was inside when the fire broke out, residents were told to stay indoors because of the heavy smoke. Barons River First Nation is located about 325 kilometers north of Winnipeg. As to the cause of the fire, RCMP say it does not appear to be suspicious. An investigation is ongoing. Canada premiers start 2 days of meetings today in Ottawa. Their winter meeting comes ahead of CUSMA's review this year. The economy, affordability, and trade are expected to be high on the agenda. Prime Minister Mark Carney will host a working dinner with the premiers tonight before their meeting tomorrow. Prime Minister Carney also has a sit-down scheduled today with BC Premier David Eby and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith. Those 2 premiers have been locked in a disagreement over a proposed pipeline to the BC coast. Here's a look at what's happening in traffic along the St. James Bridge. Things are picking up over here, but we do have a traffic note to let you know about. Westbound lane on Dugald at La Jumadière. There is a stall blocking the outside turn lane, so keep left to pass in that area. If you have any other traffic tips or updates to share, please text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
All right, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. Look at this little pooch. We're hearing all about free, fun activities you can enjoy, and this little guy's certainly going to love this activity just as much as the person taking part. Good morning, Ainsley.
Michelle, who wouldn't love an activity like getting their ears scratched? This is Regan right now, and Regan's going to have some hot dogs, too, to keep it occupied. Okay, free stuff. Zoe Austin's joining us now. And with Animal Services, hi, you can take part in a special date. Tell us about the program.
It's the best kind of date. So doggy dates are an opportunity for the community to come and take a shelter dog out for the day, up to a week. We can do overnights at people's homes. They get to experience life with a shelter dog. Regan here is a lovely companion. So people get to come back and tell us about the dog's behavior, help us get the dog adopted, or sometimes fall in love with the dog and end up adopting it themselves.
And you've got over 30 in your care right now.
I do, yeah. We are usually in the winter months we're a little bit slower, but this year has been really different. We've never been over the 30 mark in the winter when it's very, very cold like this. So times are changing. We have a lot more dogs than we've ever had at this time. So we need good adopters. We need doggy daters. We need volunteers. People in the community love to help, and we love when they do help us.
Mm-hmm. And it's really fun. There's different ways that you can take part. So, for example, we mentioned going out to the lake or even going for a walk in your neighborhood.
Absolutely, yeah. We can send doggy dates to a number of different venues, but we also have business buddies, which is an opportunity for workplaces to come and get a dog, bring the dog to the workplace. I'm sure everyone at CTV wants to have a dog for the day, so I encourage you guys to do that. We've had a lot of success with businesses, and it really connects the dog to the community in a way that helps them get adopted.
Director Kim, I might be able to pull some strings today, this morning, this dog. What are the benefits for the dogs too? Because they're going to want to get out there.
It's amazing. You see a dog who, like Regan, who, I mean, we woke her up this morning in her shelter kennel and we threw her in the van and brought her here. She's just so happy to be here. She's getting some enrichment. She's getting to meet some people. So it really decompresses them and gives them that break from shelter life, which can be really tough.
Okay, but if you want to adopt Regan, enough said. Look, like what a sweetheart this pup is.
He is a sweetheart. Just a nice little walk with him. Maybe change your life. Thank you, Ainsley. Air Miles is one of Canada's most popular and longest running loyalty programs, but now it's getting a new name, Blue Rewards. So what does this mean for you if you're already an Air Miles member? CTV's Pat Foran explains.
Air Miles has been in operation for more than 30 years, and this summer the familiar Air Miles logo with an airplane will be replaced with a new look and new name, Blue Rewards. BMO owns the loyalty program. It says no action for clients is needed at this time, and any miles you have will hold their value.
If you got $100 worth of something you're saving up for a gift card, a vacuum, or travel, you'll have $100 worth when we launch Blue Rewards in the summer.
BMO says it's adding new partners and new ways to earn, including the ability to earn points on groceries and food deliveries. Air Miles is a well-known brand, but loyalty card experts say it was time for an update.
Air Miles really needed a name change more than anything else. It's called Air Miles. It's got an airplane for its logo, but the brand has evolved over the years, especially since BMO purchased them. They're more of a general rewards program.
BMO is also hoping more Canadians will make the switch to its bank to take advantage of additional perks connected with the program. Rewards Canada, which studies loyalty programs, says more Canadians are no longer saving years for dream vacations with points, but instead are cashing them in more often for low-value rewards.
These shopping rewards or these everyday rewards, kind of like Blue Rewards, where you can get value just for a little bit amount of points. You don't have to spend years collecting points. You can maybe, after a month, you might have enough points to get $20 off something.
Rewards Canada recently announced its top 5 rewards cards. Number 1, American Express, followed by Aeroplan, Scene, Avion Rewards, and Air Miles, now Blue Rewards. Loyalty programs want your business. Barry Choi says make sure you pick one that best suits your spending.
Is the card that you have in your wallet right now making sense for you as far as a loyalty perspective is concerned? If not, it might be worth switching where you can earn more points that you can actually use for whether it be merchandise, groceries, or travel.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
The CTV Live Eye brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. All right, we see those clouds hanging around out there this morning, hoping that we'll see some sunshine too. The sun is up now, but now it's got to get through those clouds. It did yesterday, and we're hoping for more of the same today. However, as those clouds have moved in, we've seen a change up in the temperatures. Where it's clearer, it's colder. I'm looking at you over in the southwest, minus 27, minus 28, minus 30 this morning, compared to the extra clouds. Minus 23, minus 22. So you see that difference that the clouds can make when they provide that bit of insulation. Northern Manitoba, same thing. We've got the clouds up into the northeast with the slightly milder temperatures or the clearer conditions over in the northwest. Lynn Lake coming in at -27. Now winds on top of all of these temperatures still pushing us into those mid to high -30s. Not quite as bad over here in Brandon. Winds don't seem to be having as much of an impact. Pardon me. There you can see the extra clouds in the far northeast and even a few right over Winnipeg right now. But like I said, hopefully we will see a little more sunshine, especially as the day goes on. As kids get settled into the classroom, -23 is expected through the lunch hour, -21 and up to -19 by the time they're coming home from school today. So -11 is actually a normal daytime high. We won't see those numbers still for a few more days, but we should enjoy some sunshine. Weekend is when the changeup happens. Temperatures on the rise. We could be getting some light flurries Saturday night, but those mild temperatures continue through the week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Amazon says it is eliminating 16,000 corporate employees, marking its second round of mass job cuts since October, when it shed 14,000 roles. The latest reductions were announced by Amazon's Senior Vice President of People Experience and Technology, Beth Galletti, who described the move as part of efforts to cut back on bureaucracy in the company. The cuts underscore Amazon's push to operate more efficiently as it reshapes the organization amid rapid advances in AI. Well, the company initially linked the October layoffs to AI-driven changes. CEO Andy Jassy later said those reductions were more about cultural fit than cost savings or automation. ASML raised its full-year dividend by 17% as it delivered higher year-over-year net sales and income for 2025 on the back of a robust fourth quarter, sending its shares up today. Bookings in the fourth quarter were a record 13.2 billion euros as artificial intelligence fueled demand for its most sophisticated equipment, the Veldhoven, Netherlands-based company said in a statement on Wednesday. Now, the news comes hours before Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla report their earnings and could be a positive indicator of what to expect. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
When you're sitting in a chair at the hair salon or barbershop, it's easy to share what's happening in your life, your feelings, and even your fears with your stylist or barber. A project is using that sense of comfort to start a conversation with people dealing with mental health issues and systemic inequalities in the Black community. It's called the Hairstyling and Conversations Project Salon and Barbershop Talk Initiative, and it's meant to use the comfort and ease of the salon or barber to break down those barriers and create healing spaces for discussions and solutions. Joining us now to tell us more about this project is U of M Assistant Professor in the Department of Anthropology, Warren Clark, and U of M Sociology undergraduate, Bethel Alamayo. Good morning to both of you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, we've talked about this in the past. This has been going on for 8 years. This is the 8th year, right?
Yeah.
But in the past, it was always the barbershop.
Yeah.
This year, you're bringing in the salon. Tell us a little bit about how it works and why you decided to incorporate the salon this year.
Yeah, thank you very much. And, thanks for the time this morning.
Of course.
So just big shout out to Primex Community Grant to help fund this project and RBC. So I just want to acknowledge those two funders. But this project is not only paying attention to the tensions in the Black community, particularly among men and women, respectfully, and other genders. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity to actually really have a community conversation where we can highlight some of those tensions, but start to solve those tensions that we experience or we're seeing within our Black communities. But it's also a way to take make an acknowledgement to how mental health is a concern within Black communities and how it's a stigma in which it's not addressed most times, right? So the past 8 years, we've seen amazing triumphs with this project, in which people are coming to the program, they're learning, but also carrying that message in community, which is what we wanted to see.
Okay, so let's take it back. What is it about the barber and the barbershop and the salon that makes people just sort of spill their secrets?
Yeah, it's being, you're dropping your shoulders, you're getting comfortable, and you're trusting that stylist to cut your hair or style your hair, whichever, right? And in those moments, that hour and a half, you're getting into deep conversations with your hairstylist. And one of the things that we sometimes don't think about is how that salon stylist or barber or hairstylist is actually a counselor at times and providing mentorship and providing suggestions, right? So the barbershop talk or salon talk has been a thing before we came up with this project, and we're just honoring by using those spaces to help our community.
Okay, so how does it work exactly? When does it start and what's going to be happening there?
Yeah, for sure. So the Salon Talk will be starting on January the 31st.
So this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Yeah.
It'll be from 11 to 2 at Karen's Hair Studio. And the aim is just to bring community members in a comfortable space, to take advantage of that space, really. And we'll be the conversation will be facilitated by two amazing people, Renisha Blanchet and Dr. Cian Wilson. And the conversation will be centered around reframing mental health conversations.
Okay.
So it's taking advantage of this comfortable space for people to open up, but it's also providing an opportunity to have a structured way to talk about heavy topics and difficult topics. So to make sure that what we're coming out is not only with a way to talk about it, but also a solution. So it's an opportunity to meet community members. It's also an opportunity to facilitate with those who've helped solve these problems within their communities as well.
So you're going to have some salon talks with the ladies, and then some barber talks with the men, and then eventually you're going to bring them together and discuss what you've talked about and come up with solutions together as a group. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody wants more information or they want to take part, they can always check out a link on our website. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Yeah, thank you.
It sounds amazing, and
Appreciate
you'll have to give us an update on how it all goes.
We would love to, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
For having us.
All right, a few flakes of snow, but overall it doesn't seem so bad. I think one of the nicer change-ups that we've noticed is the lack of winds. Minus 23, the temperature is on the rise. We're almost at a seasonal low. That would be around minus 22. We're getting there. We were a lot further from it earlier this morning, but we've already made some impressive gains just over the last few hours from minus 26, our coldest temperature. We're a few above that now, though it does feel like minus 33 once you're factoring in that 15K wind. It's out of the west-northwest this morning. The pressure is rising, and that humidity is sitting at 78%. Few extra clouds is honestly actually looking a little more overcast than I was anticipating, and a few flakes of snow that are falling out here right now, but it is on the warm up slowly. Not that it's going to drastically warm through the day, but we'll make a few more gains as the day goes on, ending up at about minus 19. Now that would be a below seasonal day, minus 11, that number that we're shooting for this time of year of what in fact seasonal is. I know it's been a while since we talked about seasonal temperatures, and certainly this is an improvement over the extreme deep freeze of this past weekend, but we will be getting back up to those seasonal temperatures by the time this coming weekend rolls around. The rest of this week, high minus teens, hopefully a little more sunshine than what we're currently seeing, and then the weekend the warm-up continues, even though it could come with a little more light snow. In the Nipoa area, beautiful shot of the sun rising. Thanks to Leah for sharing this with us, and keep the pictures coming please to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon.
Weather is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Good morning. For people spending their winter shoveling, there isn't much they can do about plows blocking their driveways with snow. That is unless they play the guitar.
Baby, the plow just went by, and your dad's back is bad at 35. So stay here, my little big eyes. I will be back to say goodnight.
Danny McNeil is a musician from Sydney, Nova Scotia. He's written a song called The Plow Just Went By. Danny is the father of twins who has seen plenty of his hard work undone by plows. He says the song is not a complaint, and he appreciates the hard work plow drivers go through. For Danny, his song is more about life's responsibilities. The song will officially release on Friday. The 55th annual Juno Awards will be held in Hamilton next month, and we now know who is in the running for Canada's top music prize. CTV's Andrea Case breaks down the nominees.
He may have first caught our attention when Kamloops, BC's Cameron Whitcomb auditioned on American Idol, but now he is a Juno nominee. Yep, he is no quitter. The first-time nominee heard his name 5 times this morning, including for Breakthrough Artist of the Year and TD Fan Choice Award, as well as Country Album of the Year. But leading the pack, Justin Bieber is an 8-time Juno winner already, but never has he had 6 Juno nominations in 1 year. Hold on, hold on. His single Daisies is up for Single of the Year off the album Swag 2. He will also vie for Artist of the Year. could Tate McRae be any hotter? The former Calgary-born dancer tied the Biebs with 6 nominations. Best Single, Sports Car kicked off her Album of the Year contender, So Close to What? Daniel Caesar already has been announced as a performer, and he may pick up a Juno this year. He is nominated for 4 trophies, as is The Weeknd. The Junos will be hosted by comedian, actor, and singer Mae Martin from the TD Coliseum in Hamilton on March 29th. Andrea Case, CTV News.
There's a new warning about artificial intelligence. One expert is saying humanity needs to wake up. They believe the technology could pose a major threat. CTV's Sophie Flay shows you why.
One of the biggest names in artificial intelligence is warning the technology is about to, quote, test who we are as a species. Dario Amodei, CEO of AI company Anthropic, warns the government and tech companies are underestimating the dangers of the bad actors using technology. He points to the 1995 sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway that killed 14 people. The attack took a cult of scientists to execute. But Amodei warns AI now gives that same power to anyone. He writes, the disturbed loner who wants to kill people but lacks the discipline or skill to do so will now be elevated to the capability level of a PhD virologist. The 43-year-old billionaire also issuing a warning that science fiction movies have made for years.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
That the technology could go rogue and begin to ignore human orders. He recently admitted that during testing, his own company's AIs have tried to manipulate humans.
In lab environments, sometimes the models will develop the intent to blackmail, the intent to deceive.
So what can be done? He says we need a tech embargo to stop the sale of chips and data centers to China. He's also pushing for strong transparency laws and heftier taxes on big AI companies. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along Donald Street. Things have really picked up over here, moving slowly, but we have no other issues to tell you about at this point in this area. If you see any issues, let us know, please. We'll be right back after this break.
Outside this morning, it's minus 23, feels like minus 33. We've got a bit of a breeze. It's out of the west-northwest, 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 78%. We've sure seen those clouds building up over the course of the morning. First thing, it was very, very clear. The clouds, we're not seeing too much by the looks of the satellite image right now. Certainly it does look cloudier over through northeastern Manitoba, but undoubtedly so. You look out the window and there in fact are the clouds. Minus 19 is where we're headed today from minus 23 where we're currently sitting, although that is already up a few degrees. Minus 26 was our coldest temperature earlier this morning. So we have made some gains and we'll continue to make a few more, just not quite to what is normal for this time of year. With minus 11 being that seasonal daytime high, we're going to miss the mark today, but hoping to see a little bit more sunshine than what we're currently seeing anyway. And winds should remain light to moderate throughout the day today at about 20 kilometers per hour out of the northwest. Even lighter winds expected overnight as we drop down to minus 23. Just a few clouds overnight and just a few clouds throughout the day tomorrow. Hopefully, once again, we'll enjoy some of that sunshine and maybe even slightly milder temperatures than what we're expecting today. Not by much. We're still going to remain below seasonal, and not just today, tomorrow, but in fact for Friday as well. So the rest of the week, not much change up. But for the weekend, certainly so. Look at these temperatures on the rise nicely, surpassing the seasonal high of minus 11 and continuing on to be quite mild as we continue through the week. We might see some overnight flurries Saturday and then those heavier clouds lingering through Sunday.
People who need to have day surgery at Victoria Hospital will soon have shorter wait times. It's all thanks to some unique technology upgrades coming to the hospital. This is a minimally invasive surgical suite at Victoria Hospital, and it's going to be getting a major upgrade. Thanks to the Victoria Hospital Foundation, they're adding new state-of-the-art technology for laparoscopic surgery called ICG. It allows the hospital surgeons to do surgeries more quickly and safely, and officials say it promises better outcomes, including less pain, lower risks of complications, and faster recovery times. Another familiar face is returning to Winnipeg for the 2026 CFL season.
Wants to throw here. Can't go. Pressure right up the middle. Kyrie Wilson.
Arson gets there.
The Blue Bombers have re-signed linebacker Cairo Wilson to a one-year contract extension. The 33-year-old finished last season with 51 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Wilson is entering his 9th season as a Bomber and has 2 Grey Cup championships on his resume. The Winnipeg Jets were looking to snap a 2-game losing skid last night as they visited the New Jersey Devils. Only about a minute 30 gone in the first. Winnipeg is on the board thanks to this goal by Gabe Vilardi. And Kyle Connor gets the assists as Mark Scheifele scores his 26th goal of the season, and it's 1-0 for the Jets. In the second, about 3.5 minutes in, this line again combines for a Jets goal. Connor and Scheifele pick up assists as Vilardi scores to make it 2-1 Jets. Later in the second, the Jets go up another goal by Cole Koepke, and they make it 4-1 with about 3 minutes left in the second. On this goal, Vladislav Nemestikov feeds Nino Niederreiter, and it's 4-1 Jets. The Jets let New Jersey score a couple of times in the third, but they hang on for a final. Jets 4, Devils 3. Connor Hellebuck stopped 26 of 29 shots. Winnipeg continues their road swing with a game Thursday against Tampa Bay. That game starts at 6 p.m. Scientists are using GPS to track the movement of monarch butterflies. They are being fitted with trackers that can relay their location in real time. The movement of monarch is usually tracked through sightings. This new tracking method is expected to provide data on which route the butterflies take and how their migration affect local environments. Guess is a little dog in Vancouver with a passion for big sticks. The pup's collection is getting some attention online while also inspiring her owner in an unexpectedly creative way. CTV's Adam Swatsky has the story.
This is a story about a dog named Guess and the definite potential of a stick.
Quite early on, we found out she has a propensity to lift very large sticks.
So, like many proud parents, Carrie Walker captured Guess's accomplishments on video.
Just thought it was really impressive, her strength and determination.
And so many other people said they were inspired to see the little dog pursuing her big dreams that Carrie began posting Guess with Sticks videos on social media.
I think it's just a laugh, a little nugget of joy.
And that could have been the end of it. Until the sticks that Guess deposited at the end of the driveway after every walk grew into an impressive pile. And Carrie, who's a professional artist, found herself feeling unexpectedly inspired.
It was a big part of my life and just thought, I'm going to draw one. But then I think also it was like, oh, that's such a dumb idea.
Because serious artists don't do silly things like draw dog sticks, Carrie thought, before considering how Guess, even when she doesn't succeed in picking up a stick, never fails to try.
Yeah, I took my cue from Guess.
Carrie started by capturing the general texture of a stick.
Found them really beautiful.
Before documenting every specific detail.
Sort of just like traveling through this world that's contained in the stick.
And by the time she'd completed almost a dozen life-size stick drawings, Carrie was invited to exhibit them at a very real art gallery to display her little dog's big inspiration.
She's not questioning her impulse. Her impulse is you pick up a stick and you take it home. You're following your impulse, I'll follow my impulse.
And now that her drawings are being displayed with the actual sticks that inspired them, the idea no longer seems so silly. Because during these often troubling times, what could be more serious than simply striving to make people smile?
It's like a moral responsibility to share that joy with people if you can.
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
She's so cute. Here's a look at what's happening now on Notre Dame Avenue. Things are moving well here, but we do have a traffic note for you. Narin is closed in both directions from Chester to Kent for a fire. So avoid the area and expect delays there this morning. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us. And here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is $1.17. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.15, and the lowest price in the city is $1.10. All this information is on GasBuddy.com. For our question of the day, we wanted to know about your Lego, because today is Lego Day and we want to know what's your favorite Lego. Mark said his favorite Legos were the original sets that he grew up with. Thank you, Mark. Sandy shared her favorite Lego is the ones her grandkids play with. Thank you so much for your responses. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's telling us all about free things that we could do for fun in the city of Winnipeg. Good morning.
Free, sustainable, fun. We are at the Millennium Library right now talking all things quilting. And we got the expert with us, Anna Schmidt, who's the maker in residence here. It's going to help you at home make your own. So tell us a little bit about this program.
So the Maker in Residence program is a free program at the public library. We're going to be having drop-in sessions 3 times a week. There will also be some workshops you can register for, and it will be an opportunity for folks to come and learn how to make quilts.
Tell us about what the folks will be doing.
So we'll be doing a variety of things. I'll be showing them some skills and techniques. I'll be bringing in some guest speakers from quilting groups around the city. We're going to make some community quilts and donate them to an organization that gives them to young people aging out of foster care. And so, yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay, well, 1, it's a beautiful cause. 2, these patterns are absolutely stunning. Is there a simple way to tell me how you put it all together?
So this is basically a whole bunch of these, and this is just little hexagons, and you start with little hexagonal pieces of paper, and you wrap the fabric around the paper, and you stitch them together, and then you pull the paper out. And so that whole quilt was created in that fashion, all done by hand.
And some people are going to use fancy fabrics, which is great, but not everybody has that luxury. This is a sustainable thing that we can do that's also cost effective.
We're actually going to make a quilt entirely out of things we find at Goodwill. We're going to buy some sheets, some old cotton shirts, and I'm going to show people how you can turn old fabric into beautiful new things.
I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, okay. What's your favorite quilt you've ever made?
Usually the one I just finished.
So if I said, I guess, who's your favorite kid? The one that's right in front of me right now. That's awesome. Okay, you know what? This segment is dedicated to my future mother-in-law who loves quilts. This one's for you, Carla.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. You might need a quilt to stay warm today.
Yeah, sure. For the next few days, we are still dealing with these colder than normal temperatures. I mean, we're out of the extremes. We at least have that to celebrate, but we're still not even back to what is normal for this time of year. So we've got a ways to go yet. And all of that sunshine that I was hoping for, it's not so prevalent. I see like patches of thinner clouds where the sun might make it through. Keeping our fingers crossed to see more of that today. Minus 23, so the warm-up has at least started. We've gained a few degrees already just over the course of the morning, though it still feels like minus 33 once you're factoring in that wind. It's 15 kilometers per hour out of the west-northwest. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 78%. And still, a little bit of light snow is falling out here this morning. It's pretty, though. I mean, it's wintertime in Winnipeg, in Manitoba. This is what we expect. We always know that there's going to be at least that week of the extremes. Well, we've endured that. And now another few days yet of the below seasonal temperatures. But the nice change up comes this weekend. That's when we're going to see a bit of a swing with the temperatures. So for the next few days, expect it to remain a little bit cool with daytime highs in those high minus teens. Minus 11 will be a normal daytime high. And by the time the weekend rolls around, we'll be getting to those numbers. In fact, we might even see the mercury rise above seasonal for this coming weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Good morning. There's been research into the long-term effects of head injuries from car crashes, and that's led to more information on the increased risk of subsequent concussions. CTV's Pauline Chan has more.
Researcher Donald Redelmeyer says for every person that dies in a motor vehicle accident, 6 others are left with permanent injuries. And while some of the more common factors considered in long-term disabilities include the severity of injuries, length of hospital stay, and concurrent mental illnesses, another factor came up.
The big surprising finding was that a past history of concussions was associated with a 15% further increase in the risk of long-term disability. And these might have been concussions that occurred years and years before the actual motor vehicle crash.
Redelmeyer says the message goes beyond trying to avoid getting into a car crash.
If you have had one or more past concussions, drive safely, especially late at night, which we found were associated with the highest risks of long-term disability. Suggesting that once you've had a concussion, you may not be exactly the same, even though you feel the same, you just don't have that same reserve capacity to recover from the next bad thing that comes along.
Another study looking at the long-term impact of concussion is out of the University Health Network.
Even just that repetitive head impact where people don't even realize that they're having a concussion could be setting you up for delayed neurodegeneration decades later.
The finding is especially significant for parents and childhood sports instructors. Dr. Carmela Tartaglia cites sports like boxing, hockey, football, rugby, and soccer, especially for girls, who she says are especially vulnerable to concussions. The message from Tartaglia's study?
Even one concussion can put you at risk of dementia. And so, of course, this idea that, you have to protect your brain throughout all of your life.
She hopes attitudes, especially in sports, which are most likely to be a child's first exposure to concussions, will continue to evolve. For example, setting age limits to begin heading the ball in soccer. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A world premiere play is hitting the stage at the Manitoba Theatre for Young People. It's called Tad and Birdie, and it tells the story of a friendship between a bird, voice, tree, frog, and a lovebird. Joining us now is the Manitoba playwright, Annika Dowsett. Good morning, Annika.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is so exciting. It's a world premiere. You grew up in Gimli. Tell us how Gimli sort of played a factor in this production in any way, if that.
Yeah, I grew up in Gimli, so spent a lot of time by myself in the woods. So definitely spent a lot of time with jars of tadpoles, staring at them swimming around. So I think that probably had a hand to play.
That is amazing. Okay, so let's talk about what inspired this production. Tad and Birdie. What's happening in this story?
Yeah, it's about Tad, a little tadpole, and Birdie, who are in a little boy's room. Tad has just hatched and is this new guy trying to figure out what the world is, and Birdie feels like they have all the answers for Tad.
Okay, and you have been working at MTYP for a number of years. It's not very often where it happens where an employee is able to write a production like this, where it is actually created and then put on the stage. How does it feel knowing that you're being recognized like this?
It feels really lovely. I feel like I've been working really hard for a long time to be a theater creator and to work on my craft, and MTYP has been a second home for me for a really long time, so it's really exciting to get to show some of my work there.
You took some theater classes as a child?
I did, yeah. I was in their musical theater company as a teenager for a few years, and then I got a job there basically right out of high school, and worked there for about 9 years, so it's really a special place.
It's really helped to mold you, and so how has that influenced the storytelling in this production?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to see so many great productions that MTYP has put on throughout the years, some really world-class children's theater, so I think just all of that has really influenced my writing, and the young audiences are so exciting to write for because they're so in love with the magic of the space and they really buy in, and so having them in mind and writing for them has been so fun, so amazing.
Well, congratulations. That's so exciting. Tad and Birdie, who is it geared for? What age group?
It's 5 and up, recommended for 5 and up. I would say if you're an adult who needs a little bit of optimism right now, it's also for you. I think I was writing it to try and get myself out of a bit of a cynical headspace.
Okay.
So if you're having a bad day, I think the show is for you.
And nature is an important part in the story as well. What do you want to share with children about that?
Yeah, I think just that nature is beautiful and should be protected. I think watching the world around you is so important as a young person, and knowing that everything that you do influences everything else.
This is actually going to go on tour, this show, including in your hometown of Gimli.
Yeah.
What is the best part about that for you?
I mean, getting to bring theater to where communities are is so important to me. The arts are such an integral part of education for everybody, but especially for youth. And so coming from a rural background and being able to have my work all over Manitoba is just so exciting.
Yeah, because some kids don't get exposed to theater until they get to see it in their own hometown or somewhere else, right?
Exactly.
So you're exposing them perhaps to theater for the first time, which is a big deal. Okay, what do you want people to know about the show? It opens up on Friday?
Yeah, Friday at I believe 7 p.m. and it runs for 2 weekends.
Okay.
And then we'll tour Manitoba. What do I want them to know about the show? I want them to know that they'll have a great time. I also want them to know that because it's a little boy's room, there are objects that are bigger than they're supposed to be, and something about that tickles me so much.
Oh my gosh, it sounds lovely. Okay, well, thank you for sharing this with us, and congratulations. Again, if you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thanks, Annika.
Thank you.
That does sound like fun. And honestly, I can say as somebody who grew up in a small town, when you would see like every now and then a production would tour through, and it just meant so much to, I think, all of the students at the school, especially myself. So it certainly sparked something in me as a youngster. All right, taking a look outside this morning, minus 23, and you can see those heavier clouds hanging over the city currently. It feels like minus 33. We're still dealing with a wind chill, even though the winds themselves aren't that strong. Just a 15K breeze out of the west-northwest. The pressure rising, and that humidity is sitting at 78%. The heavier clouds, they kind of moved in. It was clear when I first came into work this morning, but over the course of the morning, those clouds built up, and now you can see them there. Northeastern Manitoba also dealing with a few extra clouds and a little bit of light and scattered snow. We are still hoping to see some sunshine bust through from behind those clouds, and certainly that will make for a brighter day, if not a warmer day. We're not going to deal with the warming temperatures until this coming weekend, so for the rest of this week, high minus teens, likely as good as it's going to get. Now, minus 11 is a normal daytime high, and those are the numbers we're waiting to see returning. It looks like by the time the weekend rolls around and then continuing into next week, temperatures should be back to seasonal, maybe even above, and kicking off the weekend with some overnight flurries. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with your morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, before we send you off, we're going to show you some fun video. We kick things off with a dunking dog that's gone viral for his trick shots. Look at him go. This is Steph Furry. This cute corgi started out by playing with a balloon, which then led to him sinking every basket. The now famous dog has gone on to help with gender reveals, predict Super Bowl winners, and showed off his talent on national TV with Jimmy Kimmel.
Turn this into a career. I love it. Color me impressed.
Watch out, Airbud. There's a new dog in town. He's so good. And Fiona the hippo is celebrating her 9th birthday. Because of the wintry weather. Oh, that's so satisfying. In her home city of Cincinnati, her keepers brought the party to her. Fiona's famous for surviving. You may remember she was born 6 weeks early and underweight in January 2017, but she's grown and thrived since then.
Those jaws.
And finally, we finish off with a couple of feathered friends who aren't turning heads. Their heads literally don't move at all. No matter which way he turns their body, their heads stay in the same position. No foul play here. That does it for us. Have a good day.